down there. And our fans, some fans have been here since day one, and it's pretty awesome. It's great to see, you know, just the variety of fans over the years, young and old. I'll never forget a story. This is probably 2006. This is only 2 years of coming here to Road Atlanta, and I come down from the tower, go use one of the porta potties over here, and this guy comes up to me and says, "I'm 85 years old. I've been coming here for so many years, and I just found a new favorite motorsport." I think right then and there in 2006, that just really sealed the deal for me, just on how dynamic this motorsport was and how many fans we could really garner. And it's just great to see the sport grow to where it's at. So hopefully that young man is still with us and still a fan, as we've just attracted a lot more fans over the years. And we start from the bottom of the heap, but only because this gentleman has not seen competition this year. We have seen him here at Road Atlanta, but it was quite a few years ago. But now he's bigger, badder, and more radder. This is the Rad Bull, piloted by Mad Mike Wadette in his Red Bull Mobil 1 Nitto tire shrouded Mazda MX-5. Now this thing's twin turbo, 4 rotor. The thing sounds like an absolute spaceship coming to us from New Zealand. Gets way off of that rear clipping zone. Tries to tighten up, coming out of the keel on the horseshoe. Scrubs some speed, seeming to have a little bit of issues, a hiccup. But keeps it sideways, back up the hill. Keeps it between the lines. Round of applause for Mad Mike Wadette. That's his first official Formula Drift run of the 2015 season. So great to see him out here. And Mike, just such a charismatic guy. He already wins before the trophies are even given out, Ryan.
Yeah, here we go, taking a look at Mad Mike once again. Nice initiation right there. Good transition coming up the hill, good fluidity. You can see really on the throttle right here, maxing out the angles. He comes into outer zone number 1, but is unable to fill that zone. Comes off a little bit early, unable to get into that good positioning and that good line that the judges are looking for. Now coming back down the hill with lots of smoke on course, trying to position his way for this last inside clip, which he's able to hit pretty well right there and stays on course across the finish line.
You can kind of just see Mike, just a little bit of reservation just coming out of the keyhole. It seemed like just, you know, not the right gearing or something, but man, I tell you, in practice, he did have some great runs. All right, so here comes Dan Savage. This is Dan Savage in the Sicky V8. Oh, no, sorry, James Evans. I apologize. It's James Evans. Got thrown off. They have the same livery from Baltimore, Maryland, the Sicky V8 350Z on Achilles radials. James Evans, loud and proud, coming out of the horseshoe and back up to where it all began. Tight on that first and last front clip. So a nice showing there by the Baltimore, Maryland resident of James Evans. All right, so taking a look at Evans' run once again there. Nice and tight. Good angle. Look at that minimal correction on those front wheels. They are locked and diving into the horseshoe. Could be close to that rear clipping zone. Tightens it up in the keyhole. Exits nicely. Good plume of smoke showing you good wheel speed throughout the course from Mr. Evans. All right, so we will be giving you scores here in a moment. I apologize about that. All right, so on the start line, you can see that's Brandon Wicknick from Layton, Utah. All right, there's Mad Mike Wadette's score of 65. That's a 65 for Mad Mike Wadette. You can see 22, the total score from him. Angle judge, you can see they have 25 points available for angle, 10 points for style from the angle judge. All right, so here comes Wicknick, but we should be seeing James Evans score ideally, as the judges are finalizing their James Evans scores. Wicknick is on the start line. We have about 39 drivers, so like I said, less than 40, with the addition of Pro 2, which is basically, you know, you have your local events, you have your Pro-Am events. Now we have Pro 2, which was last year was kind of an interim year where you could run both. Pro 2 has been instituted now this year, and that kicks off at our third round of the Formula Drift Championship in Orlando, and that's going down next month. As you know, with the addition of Pro 2, it's really minimized drastically the field of vehicles that shows up and attempting to qualify. And in my eyes, I think I think we get to see a better competition. So James Evans grabs a 66, so just 1 point higher than that of Mad Mike Wadat. All right, Brandon Wicknick coming out of that start chicane and down the hill. Let's see how he initiates here. The 2JZ Power Chase Bays S13. Coming up the hill strong. You know, just a few years ago, way off of that rear clipping zone. Tries to keep it together. And now into that final clip. And there is Wicknick. All right, so let's take a look at Brandon Wicknick's instant replay. Definitely leaving some points on the board here is Wicknick. And notably in the horseshoe, you'll see him approach that rear clipping zone right here. Quite a bit off, very shallow, and a big correction. So a lot of points being deducted there. But through the rest of the course, looks clean, looks fluid, looks exciting, but that moment, and it doesn't help that it's right in front of the judges. Very visible to the naked eye. All right, so Brandon Wicknick was to be next. There's James Evans' score once again, a 66. Jun Meng was to be next. He's calling a competition timeout. So in his brand new 2JZ BMW Z4, the Lucas Oil MAV TV Protect the Harvest BMW Z4, I might add. All right, Wicknick grabs a 52. Brandon Wicknick with a 52. All right, this looks like Michael Essa. Michael Essa in the SLP Performance Yokohama Tire Chevy Camaro. Oh, nice initiation, and not the way you want to get it done. So Michael Essa initiates and messes up out of the gate. So unfortunately, Essa on his first run So there's Essa's score officially with a 0. Coming to a halt before it even began. All right, here we are. We see Jun Meng on the start line. All right, so we'll clarify that if Jun Meng did use his competition timeout. He's running out of order here, but we'll see Jun Meng currently on the start line. Jun Meng from Southern California, Lucas Oil MAV TV Protect the Harvest 2JZ powered BMW Z4. Now, we've seen a BMW Z4 in competition before from our previous driver, actually, Michael Essa. A very difficult vehicle to build, so quite a big aspiration of Jun Meng. He's running minus the wing now as Jun Meng re-initiates. Whoa, brings it out. Massages it into the rear clipping zone. And that is another big mistake, and they're just really sealing the deal. Unfortunately, Jun Meng will be limping back up the hill. So unfortunately for Mr. Meng, he is sitting on a goose egg. Next up from Dominican Republic, E3 spark plugs. 370Z as Jun Meng receives his 0. So Jonathan Castro, the E3 spark plugs, hand-cooked tires, Progresso Nissan 370Z. Now his wife's watching back at home. So here we go, Mr. Castro. All right, here we go. throwing it in nice and hard. Way off as he goes into the dirt. That's going to be a 0 for Castro. So unfortunately for Jonathan Castro, man, Ryan, out of the gate, we're already seeing these big mistakes. I mean, you know, Jun Meng, unfortunately, you know, his car just being debuted there in Long Beach, but here we are seeing Castro, and he's in a very well-prepared car.
It's the big stage, a lot of nerves. You know, it's a tough track. You expect to see it, and hopefully these guys can come back on run 2 and get themselves a good little run to get in the scoreboard.
All right, so Mats Berebo coming to us from Canada. Matt's always an exciting driver to watch. Mats Berebo in that big Toyota Mark II. Golden Net from Brockville, Ontario, Canada. So Mats Berebo on the start line, but first, let's do a cleanup there on aisle 1. As the Mark II waits, we'll do a little bit of house cleaning. When we come back, we'll see Mats Berebo with his first qualifying run.
What's next? Big things. Things you never saw coming. So buckle your tool belt. Here comes the all-new Ford F-150. The first and only pickup that lets you do this, and this, and this. All wrapped in a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body so you can do the most of this. The all-new Ford F-150. The future of tough.
No one forces us to race. We choose to be here. It's the connection to the car. Our ability to control the chaos. That's what drives our passion.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hang up tires.
We have broken the sound barrier and pioneered new paths to space. But where is that new frontier? What barriers will we break next? Every day, we are given the opportunity to sign our name to history. Just close your eyes and look inside. You are that new frontier. I'm General Mark Welch. These are my heroes, and we are American Airmen.
All right, well, here we are, Mats Berebo on the start line. We have got the John Deere out there and swept up the track as Mats Berebo will have his first go at his first qualifying run. The Golden Net Drift Team in his Mark II. Let's see how this big four-door can handle Road Atlanta. Lighten up his Falcon tires, coming up the hill. Into the horseshoe, the sun sets, but as Mats, about a half a car length or a third of a car in this instance of the Mark II. And wraps it around that final clip. So definitely could be closer on that rear clipping zone in the horseshoe, but looking fluid. So I'm sure he's going to push a little harder here on his second run ride.
Yeah, starting off with a decent initiation right here. Like you said, not the greatest run we've seen from Mats, but at least some good consistency. Might get him into the first portion of the top 32, but obviously those scores will not hold for run 2 as more and more guys get comfortable with the track. Good transition right here coming off that horseshoe right here and then into the last turn right here from Mats. So it's getting the score on the board, but I'm sure he'll be looking for something better.
Yeah, he's a go-getter. Him and his dad is a spawner. He's always in the mix. So family affair for the Barabo family, as Jeff Jones is scheduled to be up next. So on deck will be Masashi Yokoi, who's definitely one to watch. There's Matt's Barabo score is 62, which puts him currently in third. It's not a great score. I don't believe that's going to hold tight, but fortunately for a lot of these guys, there's a lot less drivers. So, you know, mathematically with 39 drivers, that leaves, you know, I'm not great at math, but that tells you that there's 7 drivers, only 7 that are going to be watching from the sidelines. All right, here comes Jeff Jones, picking up a new sponsor, the DNA Motoring on the side of his vehicle. Turbocharged S14. Coming to us from Southern California. Here we go. Lighten up the Hankook tires on initiation. You see him locking up that back wheel. Sliding into that first clip. Look at him on throttle, powering it up the hill. Nice job by Jones. Here kind of dropping the RPMs and then back out of the horseshoe. Not a bad run. Is that the new leader? Make some noise for Jeff Jones. DNA Motoring turbocharged V8 S14. Ryan.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Jeff Jones gets better and better every round. A good job right there by him to kind of maintain good consistency and flow throughout the entire course. And I definitely think he will be up there above that 62 threshold and drop him into first or second place. But good job by Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Jones, you saw him, you know, getting kind of beelining towards that rear clipping zone in the horseshoe. You could see the stage here is good showing here for qualifying Casual Friday. Unfortunately, a lot of the fans got discouraged because there was I don't know if you saw it on the international news or even here in the U.S., but across the country there was unfortunately a single engine plane crash on one of the major freeways here in Atlanta, the I-285, which shut it down for multiple hours, and that's one of the main freeway arteries to get to the track. So again, unfortunately 4 lives were lost in a small engine plane crash on the major I-285, so that definitely cuts into the attendance here for qualifying, as that is under investigation, you know, government investigation. All right, so you can see the sun is setting, but our next driver on deck when we return, it should be Masashi Yokoi. All right, when we come back, Yokoi is on the start line.
I know when I toss my car to a turn at over 100 miles per hour, it's going to hold it. If you don't have confidence in your tires, you have nothing. What's up, everyone? I am pumped to let you know that I've teamed up with the Gum Out and Black Magic crew to give you guys a chance to win a one-of-a-kind 2015 Ford Mustang RTR. If you're here at the event, make sure you stop by the Gum Out and Black Magic display, or you can sign up online at yougetmydrift.com for your chance to win a trip to Vegas during SEMA for you plus a friend, where we'll meet up and I'll give you the keys to your brand new 2015 Ford Mustang RTR.
All right, well, there we have it, Masashi Yokoi, who, Ryan, we were like convinced he was going to come over here and kill it, and unfortunately in Long Beach had a bit of bad luck.
Yeah, but I think he's made some changes to the vehicle. He definitely seems a lot more confident. He was going off course a little bit in practice, but it's a sign to me that he has that aggression that we really took note of when we were in Fuji. So I think if he can hold it down, he'll do well. All
right, so Ryan saying he'll do well. He looks. He's shy. All signs are showing that he's got what it takes. Masashi Yokoi in this D-Max Sylvia S15. Good early initiation coming into that front clip. Let's see if he can get that chrome nose. Woo, flying into the horseshoe, bringing it out. Ooh, dancing with the dirt. Barely any brown coming up, if at all. Masashi Yokoi. Solid showing there. There you go. I have to assume that's going to be our #1 qualifying run. And potentially $500 richer. Revved Energy Bars announcing the Rev Killer Qualifier Award, $500 to the #1 qualifier run.
So that's that aggression right there. You can see drops the tire will be a slight deduction right there, but definitely up in the higher tiers as far as aggression is concerned. Good fluidity right here coming up the hill. Nice job right there minimizing the e-brake. You can see he dances with the dirt like you said, Jared, but he fills that zone perfectly. Nice job on that second inside clip as he transitions down the hill. You can see right here on throttle all the way, maxing it out, and a good job right there across the finish line outside the last clip.
How many point deductions? I mean, they didn't really clarify, and that was a question that the drivers asked. How many points are deducted in a dirt drop? And we talked about 2 tires off to 0.
Yeah, it's always a matter of severity, you know,
okay.
how big the tire drop is. But you can see right there by the score of 85, obviously, he's got himself in a nice position.
Yeah, I mean, look at that line, 23 out of 25. I mean, that's basically saying that minus,
2 points basically.
Minus 2 points.
Yeah.
So I mean, touching the dirt on initiation, that dirt drop, is it you're kind of risking it there? No risk it, no biscuit. All right, here comes a little text. Nate Hamilton, car number 144. So Masashi Yokoi, our current #1 qualifier. Little text. Nate Hamilton, driver of the 144 Motorsports from Rowlett, Texas, in the turbocharged V8 S13. There he goes, coming down the hill with the wood grain. Coming into the first front clip, transitions the Injuku Racing kitted. Dancing with the rumble strip quite a bit, coming hard in. A lot of dirt being thrown. As his bumper gets thrown off. We'll clarify if that was 2 tires off or 1. That was the aggression we're talking about, just a little too much aggression there from Hamilton. As the drift scum down there, they got some dirt in their face. What's going on, fellas and gals?
Well, here we go, Jared, taking a look at Nate Hamilton right here, just using that outside rumble strip to set himself up a little bit wide on that inside clip. This is where he goes really deep right here. He almost drops a tire just basically right on that line. And this is, we're talking about the quantity and amount of dropping a tire. That was a lot more severe than Yokoi's save, for example. And as he transitions down the hill right here, he's going to try to aim for this last inside clip going up the hill. So a good aggressive run by Nate Hamilton, but just a few more mistakes than Masashi Yokoi.
In this, looking at this run, I think he pushed it a little too hard maybe on the first run, but that's a level of game that's been stepped up as far as, some people would say, okay, maybe temper the flame and then turn it up on your second run. So first run compared to second run, I think everybody just goes hard every single run. When I say every single, there's only 2. I mean, because it's the better of the 2. So as Nate Hamilton awaits their score, so many loyal fans here again. Got Team Rowdy, Drift Scum again down there. How we doing? Mitch, how we doing? And there's the score, a 71. So a great showing by Hamilton. That's not a bad score given the, kind of the calamity that ensued down there, throwing up the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely thought he was going to get a decent score. He did have that tire drop, but overall, he put on a good performance.
All right, here we go. Tanner Faust, 2-time Formula Drift champion, 07 and 08. Here he is in the Rockstar Energy Drink, Volkswagen Passat. Yes, I said Volkswagen Passat, ladies and gentlemen. This is unlike any Passat you've ever seen. as Tanner Faust massages it nicely. Could be closer. Good composure. Could be snappier in the transition, but keeps it between the lines, keeps it smoky, keeps it sideways. Like I said, Ryan, I think a point of contention for me was just his transition going left to right, exiting the horseshoe. It could just be more dynamic.
You can see right here, coming into initiation right here, Tanner Faust just nicks that inside clip right there. Should be a slight deduction, but nothing major. You can see the aggression coming up the hill. Good fluidity right here. Really gets up to this outside line. Nice job right there on that outer zone, and a perfect job on that inside clip. Tanner Faust known for precision driving, but like you said, Jared, you like to see things a little bit snappier from Tanner. But I think this is a good run for him. It's going to definitely get him up into a score that's going to probably be competitive for the top 32, and we'll see where it slots him.
Well, fortunately for us and those Tanner fans that are out there, you know, there's 3 opportunities to see Tanner, you know, one of which was round 1. Here's the second. And he will, as scheduled, be at the final round in Irwindale, California in October. So, you know, be sure once tickets go on sale. I believe tickets are not on sale just yet. But when they do, look at that. Tanner Faust jumps up with a 77. 77, currently second place. And that's the only time that placeholder of the Stig actually works. Is Tanner the Stig, Ryan?
I don't know.
I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know at this point. All right, so here we go. As our next driver, Dean Carnage Carney at Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles radials. All right, here comes some Achilles smoke in the air. Let's see if he's got him. Initiating into that first front clip. Nice job. Making him bark. Into the horseshoe. Oh, and the Dodge Viper. See some a little out of character here for Dean Carney. I know the whole Carney family's watching at home, cheering on their number 43 of Dean Carnage Carney. Coming into the horseshoe, you heard it pop, and then you know, might have fallen out of gear there.
Yeah, let's take a look at this again. That was definitely the biggest moment of that run for Dean Carney right here on that inside clip. Nice job right there as he transitions up the hill. Good fluidity right here, aiming towards this outer zone, and you can see right there, that's where that pop happened. It causes him to not fill that outer zone. That'll definitely be a big deduction. That's a big point of the overall point structure for the judges in that area, especially for those the angle and line judge are giving a lot of style points in that particular area. So we'll see how that affects his overall score.
All right, so Dean Carney awaits his score as we're working our way up the roster. Kenny Moen will be next, a Norwegian driver piloting the Bridges Racing Achilles Motorsport Got-Bill S14. Another Norwegian driver going for it. The other one, our current points leader, second overall in the 2014 championship. None other than the Norwegian Hammer, Frederick Osbo. So Dean Carnage Carney, currently 8th. So Ireland, cheer for your boy here. Qualifying, or excuse me, currently 8th with a score of 62. All right, you can see top the hill the bright yellow nose of Kenny Moen, the rotary of Kyle the Menace Mohan. In the back, warming up his GT radials. Here we go. Here comes Kenny Moen. Kenny Moen initiates in that Bridges Racing Achilles Radial S14. Good transition, very fast, very smooth. Whoa, coming in. Oh, almost too fast, Ryan. Is that going to be 2 tires off? Seemed to be going a little deeper than Nate Hamilton when he went off course. Man, everybody, you know, it bears repeating. He's just so fast through the course.
Yeah, he is a very dynamic driver, and you can see right here just a little bit of a hiccup on initiation. Doesn't get into it as aggressive as he'd like. Does a pretty good job on that inside clip, carrying a lot of speed uphill right here. Really gets towards that outside right there. Nice job on that line. And then right here, he drops 1 tire, and that's just clearly 1. So definitely will not be a 0 right there. Good transition into this second part of the course as he goes downhill, and then a nice job transitioning back up to the last inside clip.
And as Ryan said, 2 tires off would equate to a 0, but to the naked eye, it, you know, in what I saw, it seemed like just that back left rear went off, not the right. So we'll see how big a deduction he will see in that rear clipping zone and what kind of score Kenny Moen will receive. Remember, hashtag FDATL on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Friendster, whatever social networking site you're on. So as we wait for Kenny Moen's score, next up will be Kyle the Menace Mohan. So many cool things that are coming out, limited edition items, including we did come out with a re-release of the Formula Drift Takata wallet. We have the signature green one. I've been using it for a year. Got this jam. Now it's back, but it's back in black. It's $59. Go to Formula Drift's Instagram, tell sold, and there's limited supplies. Also, there is a $99. You could see the graphic there. It's a zip wallet. Ladies and men could use it. It's unisex. So on sale at Formula D and Takata Racing. So $59 for the men's single fold, and then $99 for the women's zipper. Also some limited edition posters. We'll tell you about those in a moment. Produced by Stanceworks. As Kenny Moen grabs a 73. That's a 73 for Kenny Moen. Also, Ryan, I heard the Takata Racing FRS is for sale. It's down there in the pits. So, man, having a sale down there, selling everything out of there. All right, Kenny Moen receives a score. Now it's Kyle Mohan, so different KM. As Kyle the Menace Mohan from Long Beach, California. GT Radial. Rotary fans, you're cheering for him. Got some more Rotary love here in the house. As Kyle Mohan, Mazda Tricks, GT Radial, RX-8, going through the paces. Looking good, looking strong. Look at that, poised. Good composure from Mohan. Dropping down the RPMs, but back at it, out of the horseshoe. Wow, a strong run here by Kyle the Menace Mohan. Woo, make some noise for Kyle the Menace Mohan. An exemplary run from this rotary-powered RX-8. And I have to clarify rotary-powered because not all of them are. It's like Dan Savage, he's not.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is actually a really good run right here by Kyle Mohan. You can see right on that inside clip, does a great job there. Good fluid as he transitions up the hill right here, shooting towards the outer zone. Just a little bit on the e-brake right there for a second, but look at this. He fills the zone, does a nice job getting out on time, comes back around, hits that inside clip right here. Good transition down the hill. Lots of smoke pouring on right here. Tons of throttle by Kyle. Very consistent. No major chopping up of the course, as you can see right here. And for Kyle Mohan, I think that's one of the better runs we've seen from him in qualifying in quite a while.
All right, so what kind of score? Is he our new #1 qualifier? As, Yokoi with a great run, and look at that, a 72 from Kyle Mohan. So a good score from the Menace, Kyle Mohan. All right, moving along, we will be seeing Christophe Blues in the EE Team HGK. Motul, and as far as rubber, he's on Achilles Radial. Nice job, Christophe, coming up the hill. Oh, working it into that rear clipping zone. Wow, coming a lot of speed, Christophe. You can hear when he's on the throttle, and that's great, but man, he really dropped the RPMs to get it into that rear clipping zone. The Achilles Radial evidence strewn about the track. Ryan, I mean, it seemed like he was going to massage and work it right in. You hear, I mean, the exhaust note really dropped.
But you can see right there on initiation, he just he's not able to get a nice snappy initiation into that first corner and the first inside clip. So I have to say the judges will definitely take a look at that. It was not a clean initiation into the first corner. Outside of that, pretty decent job at least following the line. Not as dynamic as you'd like to see as he comes down the hill right here. He does take emotion to the inside, but does not hit that inside clip as well as he should have. So we'll see what kind of score he gets here. But the biggest part right here is that initiation. You can see he doesn't initiate. The wheels come back to zero for a second. He locks up the brakes. And the judges have talked about this many times before about an incomplete initiation. Will that stand as the standard for an incomplete initiation? We'll find out once we get to the score.
Yeah, just a bit glitchy, almost like, just having some issues there. I don't know, just driving style. Yep. So, wow, look at that, Ryan. And there it is, a 0 for Christophe Blues. And Ryan, was it
Yeah, failure to initiate, incomplete initiation. That was the top item on the zero list for qualifying. So unfortunately for him, he'll have to try to make it up in run number 2.
All right, so here we go. Moving on to our next driver after Kristaps. It is Mark Landerville. Mark Landerville, 2JZ S14. Switched over from V8 to now, wow, a big, heavy initiation, but really scrubbed a lot of speed. I don't know if that was the best strategy on initiation, but now hitting his stride. In the horseshoe, transitions out. Full pull from Landerville. All right, make some noise for Mark Landerville, 2JZ powered S14.
So here we go, taking a look at Landerville right here, coming in on initiation. Good angle right here, but he does, like you said, Jared, use up a lot of speed right there. It causes him to kind of drop down a little bit, not as dynamic as you'd like to see with that impact fluidity commitment. Trying to shoot up towards the outside right here. Does a good job of filling that zone almost all the way. Nice job on that inside clip. Good transition here coming down the hill on a midline right here as he tries to transition into this last inside clip. Good little piece right there and pretty close to that last inside clip. So definitely get a score on the board. We'll see if it's enough to advance him on into the top 32.
All right, so Mark Landerville with a 73. A good run there by Mark Landerville. So Mark Landerville with a 73. Conrad Grunwald. Always evolving replay camera, GT Radial Megan Racing Chevrolet Camaro. Originally from Texas, now living in Northern California. All right, here we go. BRE. Blackwell Racing engines out of Charlotte, North Carolina, operating the vehicle. Look at that, locking him up on the front. Works it into that rear clipping zone. Nice job. The bow tie, it's a formal affair up the hill. Round of applause for Conrad Grunwald.
A lot of momentum from him coming off his big win at the KMC Super Drift just a few weeks ago. Trying to continue as we come into Road Atlanta. A lot of e-brake right there by Conrad Grunwald into initiation. Now transitioning up the hill. Good aggression right here. Nice fluidity. Gets on the brakes just a little bit right here as he pushes himself to that outer zone. Does not fill it completely. Tries to come back around. He's a little bit late on that inside clip as he transitions down the hill here. So a lot of aggression by Conrad Grunwald. Just a few mistakes that the judges want to take a look at and see where it fits him into the top 32.
All right, so yeah, as you said, Ryan, a little bit of success there on the streets of Long Beach during the Long Beach Grand Prix weekend as he waits a score. A 76 for Conrad Grunwald. So sliding him into currently third position. The 76 for the always evolving GT Radial Chevrolet Camaro. So Conrad Grunwald next up. Ken Gushi, the Goosh, a Formula Drift veteran since day one. One of those handful of drivers I mentioned earlier. Gretty Performance, Hankook Tires, Scion Racing, FRS. All right, so the Goosh, Ken Gushi, initiating. 2JZ powered FRS, using the whole course. I don't know if that's the ideal situation or scenario. Coming in hot is the Goosh. Woo! Shooting and punting that rear clipping zone marker, shedding some weight. The Goosh, look at the plume of smoke. Man, driving like a Goosh out of hell. Man, Ken Gushi going hard into the paint, replace the paint with that rear clipping zone, man, Ryan.
Yeah, just going to speculate here, but I think Ken was not happy with himself on this first corner right here, coming out of inner clip number 1 right there. He has a bit of a mistake after inner clip number 1. Now trying to transition. He really lays on the throttle right here and caused him to drop a tire. Luckily, it was just a tire. He takes the bumper off right there, comes back around. Nice job on that inside clip. Really using a lot of throttle here. Tons of smoke up on course. Now very fluid right here is Ken Gushi. He's on a middle line and then comes back around. Perfect job on that last inside clip. All
right, so the Goosh is waiting for his score. Man, just some really aggressive driving there by Ken Gucci. You'd like to see that. I mean, just, you know, he's been around since day one, and there's Ken Gucci's score, a 66. So using the whole course, and look at that, yeah, 17 out of 30 from the style judge. So a lot of points there, and then line, 18 out of 25. And the angle judge, 23 out of 25. So like the angle, but missing some style points there from the angle judge. Because basically it's, you know, you get the 50, you got the, you know, the other ones. All right, here we go. This is Daigo Saito, the big 20s spinning, and that Achilles Radial GTR. All right, coming up the hill, the former Formula Drift champion. Fighting it into the horseshoe. Loud and proud. You can hear him really kind of stand on it, and then whoop. Sounds like a drag car out there. Make some noise for Daigo Saito.
Daigo definitely is a throttle driver. That's what he's known for, being on throttle. A lot of people expecting great things out of this vehicle. Comes out for his first pass here in Road Atlanta. Good snappy initiation right here. Nice job on that inside clip. Transitions up the hill here now. Really trying to get on the throttle here to put himself in good position for this outer zone right here. Comes up to it just a little bit meekly, stays off of it just a little bit, but is able to fill it and does a nice job coming back around to that second inside clip, and then down the hill right here as he gets back on throttle, aiming for this last inside clip, and going up the hill is Daigo Saito.
All right, so Daigo Saito, we've seen better runs from him. Looks strong. I think he's got a better runner. You know, just you could hear him on the throttle, just really on it, and then just off. Like to see him a little bit smoother, but you know, that's only the second event with this very vehicle. And Daigo Saito gaining a lot of attention, you know, with his garage reveal, his exotic vehicle builds across the globe. And here's his score, 71 for Daigo Saito. A 71 for Daigo Saito gets him 8th. All right, so here is our next driver. This looks like Briggs, Dave Briggs, coming down the pipe. Hankook tire, Nissan S14 from Toronto, Canada. Now he's running an SR engine under the hood, which is kind of very unique in this day and age of Formula Drift competition. Getting that outside clip, he's done a nice job. Coming, bringing it, oh, and does not get out there. As Dave Briggs brings it out of the horseshoe. You can hear him just winding it up. As Dave Briggs heads back up the hill, we'll dissect this here on his instant replay. So as Briggs came down the hill, you can see him locking up those chrome HRE wheels, using the whole course. That's not exactly where you want to be. Looks strong here, but very shallow off of this rear clipping zone as he enters the horseshoe. Winding up, you can hear him clutch kicking it, heading back down the hill. Good counter steer. As far as angle, it looks good, but just as far as style goes, definitely missing some marks. As Dave Briggs receives a 70, puts him into 9th. So 70 for Dave Briggs puts him currently into 9th position. He's running that Turbo by Garrett, part of the Turbo Life, hashtag Turbo Life. Another driver running the Turbo Life, Pat Gooden, King Spring Break. All right, so the Injuku Racing ISIS Performance Twin Turbo V8 S13 of Pat Gooden, coming to us from Flowrider. Whoa, Pat Gooden initiates, getting those wheels a barking. The Falcon tires begging for more, coming into the horseshoe. Pretty comparable to Dave Briggs' run as far as where the vehicle should be. So as far as Briggs goes, you know, pretty similar run here of Gooden here.
Yeah, and kind of the pinnacle moment right here after initiation. You can see Dave Briggs, good angle here. He's a little bit wide on that inside clip, and then that mistake right there just following inner clip number 1 causes him a little bit of a mistake. He has to get back on it here. He really was on the throttle up the hill. He does not fill outer zone number 1, goes a little bit wide on inside clip number 2. So not the greatest run by David Briggs. I think he would admit that himself, but comes back around and is able to hit that last inside clip before he heads up the hill. Just making a few mistakes there could definitely have an impact on the score.
All right, so as Gooden awaits a score, Alec Honadell is next in the 11 Racing S14 operated by Get Nuts Laboratory. All right, so waiting for Pat Gooden's score. Remember, we go from bottom to the top as Pat Gooden currently 19th in points and currently 10th in qualifying with a score of 68. So like I said, pretty comparable to that of Dave Briggs. So gets a 68 and currently 10th. So like we talked about, the limited edition items keep coming, and we debuted them in Long Beach, but now here is the Atlanta poster. You go to @Formula-D or @StanceWorks, and the limited edition 24x18 print featuring the debut of Mad Mike's Red Bull and Tanner Faust's second ever round in his Rockstar Engine Inc. Volkswagen. So pick these up, $35 plus shipping, limited edition prints. You know, get artsy-fartsy and commemorate the 2015 second round of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro. So pick it up now. Go to @Formula-D and pick up your limited edition, only of 300. So act now before they're all gone forever. When we come back, our next driver on deck after that of Pat Gooden, Alec Honadell, as we continue qualifying.
Amazing.
The rush of driving a Mustang felt like never before.
I could happily probably cry right now.
Wow. That's insane.
It makes you feel like,
Wow. That is amazing.
Introducing the all-new Ford Mustang. Experience more online now.
Hey everyone, Forrest Wang here at Get Nuts Lab. We're excited to announce we're campaigning a new car, a Nissan S15 Silvia, and we're on a new STR racing wheel called the FW901 with flow form technology that makes it a lot lighter and a lot stronger.
Hey guys, I'm Odie Bakshish, and I'm stoked to be partnered with STR Wheels this year. This season, I'm running STR Flowform Track Series rims on my Nissan 240SX and my Hyundai Genesis.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hankook Tires.
All right, here we go. So Alec Honadell on the start line, the 11 Racing S14. He's running the supercharged V8 now. He ran the V8 last year, but now supercharged. You can see it sticking out of the hood there. A former professional jet ski racer. Now gone sideways. As comes in here. Good transition up the hill. Alec really on it right now. When I say on it, just as I say that, he gets off that front clip. Woo! Look at those Achilles smoke. Nice work, Alec. Nice job there, but he was off that front clip there in the horseshoe. But Alec, very consistent, and I like the fluidity in his run.
Let's take a look at this replay right here. Looks like his side skirts are unbuttoned there. He's kind of got some wings coming out. Good angle right here as he passes inside clip number 1. Coming up the hill here. Tries to max out angle right here to slow down the speed. Good job right there. Very little e-brake usage. Tries to get deep as he possibly can into that first outer zone. He does go wide on that second inside clip, however. Nice snappy transition back around. Lots of angle right there. Tons of smoke on track. And another snappy transition back around. Clip. So very dynamic right there by Alex Honadell. We'll see how the judges take it into consideration as he posts up his first score of the night.
Alec Honadell slides into second with a score of 82. Look at that. Alec Honadell with an 82 gets into the second qualifying position. Sherilyn approves, huh?
So nice job right there by Alec, putting himself in a good position here. You can see a lot of these scores, Jared, are coming up very similar. You've got 71, 72, 73, 80, 81, 82. Just to remind everybody at home, all the ties are broken by the style score. So really important to keep that in mind, that if the drivers end up in a tied position, it'll first be to style, and then it'll be to the style of each of the individual judges to break the ties.
All right, so we talked about Alex switching over to the Get Nuts Laboratory maintenance in his vehicle maintained by them. Here is the Get Nuts Laboratory head scientist, Forrest Wang, our #1 qualifier from last round of competition. A little bit of a slow entry there on that 2JZ powered S15. Running that Super Duke body kit. Works it out to the outside clipping zone. You can see him a bit hiccupy there going through the course. Nice job from Forrest Wang here in the latter part of the track. Brings it up the hill. Ryan, I have to say, not kind of the signature smooth Forrest style that we've seen hiccupy in the horseshoe.
Oh, one of the attributes of a lot of the top qualifiers is the ability to thread the needle pretty much on the most important parts of the course. You can see he does an excellent job on that first inside clip right here, but then coming up the hill, he's just off this second outer zone, and that is a key part of the track. He tries to go in a little bit there towards the end as he comes back around on that inside clip, so he's able to get back online here. Very aggressive driving, lots of throttle usage right here by Forrest Wang, who has definitely become known as the best qualifier in the series in the past 2 years. We'll see if he's able to make that up tonight. I don't know if that run right there will be his best.
All right, so Forrest Wang scoring 82. An 82. And there it is, the Duke of Decibels. No bullhorn needed, as Forrest Wang gets an 82 and is sitting in second. Party Marty disagrees as well. As Matt Kaufman is up next. This is Matt Kaufman. This man's running a brand new Thunderbolt race fuel. It's the first biofuel used. Running E98. It's pretty cool, using some food waste. And the Kaufman Racing Falcon tires. This machine is built for war. Let's see if he can go toe-to-toe on that Roush-powered. Nice job. All wound up. Matt Kaufman heads back up the hill. Put him in a Kaufman. We'll see if he puts him in a Kaufman.
So Matt Kaufman right after Forrest Wang. That was a driver that he took out in the top 32 in Long Beach. Coming into initiation right here, trying to get as close as he can to that inside clip. Nice job right there. Now transitioning back around, coming uphill, a little bit over angled right there. Causes him not to go as wide, and you can see right here he has a little bit of a trouble feeling that first outer zone, just a tiny bit off course right there, or offline right there on that second inside clip. Gets back around now, shooting for this last inside clip right there. So pretty decent run by Matt Kaufman, as now he lays down his first run of the night. We'll see where it puts him into the top 32.
All right, so waiting for the score. And here it is. Kaufman with a 73 puts him currently in 6th position.
That's probably the 7th 73 that we've seen right here. So style going to be a big factor right here as we take note of how the style judge judged the 3 different elements in style: impact, fluidity, and commitment, and also taking note of the second style score from the line and angle judge right here. So
I mean, that's 13 points overall in the style category that he left out there on the track. Charles Ng from Hong Kong, running the sparkplugs.com, Maxxis tires. 6 cars between 71 and 73 right now. So, you know, that's the sweet spot right there. Who's really going to jump and supersede? I mean, we're working our way to the top. Charles Ng, after the first round, we are into the top 15. He's currently sitting 14th after only 1 round. So we're getting to you know, the cream of the crop. And again, this is just round 2 as Charles Ng initiates into the first front clip. Sliding past it, nice job. Ripping up here. Like to see him initiate a little, you know, in that transition, throw some more angle into it. You hear him kind of going and lunging and lurching around the track. I'm saying a 71 to a 73, Ryan. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. As Charles Ng heads back up.
You might be right, actually. Let's take a look at this around as Charles Ng comes into very smooth initiation, not very snappy, not very dynamic. A little bit lacking the angle right there on inside clip number 1. Trying to get on the throttle here as he comes up the hill. Nice and wide, trying to shoot out towards this first outer zone. He's just off of it just a little bit. He is able to come back around. Does a nice job on that. Transitioning now, he's on a mid line right there, and then comes up on a lower line, and then a little bit lacking the angle right there on that last inside clip. So keeping it on the track, but will it be the best score of the night for Charles Ng? We'll find out as he places his number 1 run into the top 32.
Charles Ng been really busy, you know, in between rounds of competition, you know, drifting some cars in his you know, hometown of Hong Kong. I mean, would you call Hong Kong a hometown, his home city?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right. Hong Kong, far from a town, but definitely a city. 75, so not too far off the mark, as Charles Ng slides into 6th with a score of 75. Now, he switched it up. He went to the GTR engine. Last year, he was supercharged V8, and now he's to the GTR engine. Here comes Jeff Stoneback and Mark Lenardin riding shotgun with him as he's running Achilles radials, as also running that Super Doof body kit by 2F Performance. As Stoneback, his lights are illuminating. In the purple S14, he's running an LS under the hood, and he's a driver that really was really working his way up the ranks. All right, so as Tofu Drift fan in the building, as prior to Charles Ng, we were supposed to see Chelsea DeNofa, but unfortunately yesterday he popped his engine, was trying to pick up a backup car, and he was driving Tommy Van Cleef's vehicle in practice, but he's nowhere to be found right now. He is MIA. That is Chelsea DeNofa. So we'll advance on and see Jeff Stoneback as he is being sent from Formula Dread there atop the hill. Here we go. Jeff Stone Cold Stoneback from the top rope. Ooh, good initiation. Getting aggressive. Achilles tire all over the track. Here comes Stoneback. Look at that. Hitting the rumble strips. You see the headlights bounce way off of that rear clipping zone. Out of the horseshoe. Ditching some rubber dust. Interesting. You see him, the car just absolutely just shift. So Stoneback off on that rear clipping zone here in the horseshoe. Ryan, break it down.
Well, definitely some high marks right here on initiation. Very aggressive, very risky right here. Does a great job getting up on that first inside clip. Definitely some high points right there by Stoneback. Coming up the hill here, you can see a lot of drivers coming up short on this second outer zone. It's a high-risk area. You really have to push hard to get out there, but you take that risk of dropping 2 tires. Stoneback off that that first outer zone. Now coming down the hill, he's on a midline right here, transitioning back around, goes a little bit wide on that last inside clip. But overall for Stoneback, I think this will get him into the top 32. We'll see where he fits in. Guessing it's going to be between a 71 and a 73.
What do you think? What do you think? All right. So, yeah, everybody's kind of not. Everybody's missing the mark in some particular area. Either they're going off course, they're getting heavy into the dirt, they're off that rear clipping zone. We haven't seen, in my eyes, I thought the Mohan run was probably one of the best runs we've seen all day. He kept it in between the lines. Yeah, he was kind of consistently off of, off the course in the different rear clipping zones, but I thought that was probably the best run.
Well, we'll see what the judges.
Mr. Mohan's going like, "What's up? Why aren't you a judge?" As he's right here. But I thought it was just straight up. And we are waiting for Stone Cold Stoneback. Jeff Stoneback, again, we love you. We miss you. Mark Lenardin is 79. So currently 4th in qualifying. All right, so now here is Dan Savage. As obviously you can see how I can get them confused. The same livery with that elephant print almost a la Nike. Nasicki Racing V8 powered RX-8. Dan Savage. Oh yeah, brother. Bringing it on in. Ripping out of the horseshoe. Like the fluidity. Nice, nasty swing from Savage. People say that drifting is like wrestling, and here we have Stone Cold Stoneback going straight into Dan Savage. This is WrestleMania 12 here.
Look at this flowing initiation right here. Not a huge snappy transition, keeping it safe, but does a great job on that first inside clip. Almost goes a little bit too fast right there. He saved it. He gets back on it. Could have been a big mistake right there, but a good save by Savage. Unable to fill that outer zone completely, but comes around. He's able to get that inside clip right here as he transitions down the hill now. Trying to find the line that he's looking for. He's on a middle line right here as he comes back. Good snappy transition in that last inside clip. So 1 in the books right there for Dan Savage. We'll see where it fits him in to the rest of our competitors here in the top 32 qualifying.
All right, so next up should be, after Dan Savage, Daijiro Yoshihara. And heard some news earlier that he might not have made it to the line, but understand he's to the start line. We'll see how healthy he is. Not talking him as a driver, but just how healthy his vehicle is. As we are awaiting Dan Savage's score in his Nasicki Racing V8 RX-8. Coming to us from Virginia. Had the pleasure of hanging out with the street-driven and Hyperfest guys last weekend. Dan was out there just crewing. As 76 for Dan Savage. A 76 gets him into 7th. Smoking those Achilles radial tires. And next, there he is. Okay, so we are finding out that Yoshihara is out. Justin Pollock is next. All right, so JTP, Justin Pollock, Roush Performance, Falcon Tires, Ford Racing Mustang. Woo! Ripping it into the hairpin, or excuse me, into the horseshoe. Popping through the horseshoe. And back to where it all began. JTP Justin Pollock with a full pull. So JTP Justin Pollock. So just to clarify, Yoshihara is out on his first run. We'll see if he can put it together for a second. But JTP right now, loud and proud here on his first run. Look at Pollock in this Roush Falcon Tires Ford Mustang going through the paces, looking strong. JTP Justin Pollock from Michigan, now living in Southern California. Awaits his score. We are in the top 10 drivers now as Pollock, an 85 for JTP. Justin Pollock jumps up into first place. Justin Pollock, so you know, no dirt play, doesn't get into the kitty litter, doesn't get into the sandbox, doesn't get into that signature Road Atlanta red dirt, keeps it sideways, is loud and proud. So Justin Pollock, all signs are saying, and the judges are saying, he's our #1 qualifier right now. All right, next up, sitting 9th currently after round 1, your 2014 Formula Drift champion and 2009 champion, Chris the Force Forsberg. That NOS energy drink, hand-cooked tires, Nissan 370Z. Now residing in Baltimore, Maryland. And here comes Forsberg. Qualified good in Long Beach, but then it came down to the top 16 in that big mistake. Been coming here for 12 years. He has a lot of track time on this course, going toe-to-toe. As Forsberg lights him up, coming into the horseshoe. Doesn't get all the way into the horseshoe. Ooh, a little bit of a hiccup there. Not exactly the smoothest out of the horseshoe. Ryan could be deeper in that rear clipping zone in the horseshoe, but a good smooth showing from the Force.
Here we go, Forsberg on initiation right there. You can see grabbing some e-brakes to try to get into position here. Maybe a little bit longer than he would have liked, but is able to stay on line right there on that first inside clip. Now coming up the hill, try to shoot out as wide as he possibly can. This first outer zone does not get in there as deep as you'd like to see him, but he's able to hit that inside clip as he transitions down the hill now, coming back around on a middle line right here. Good little transition right here to the last inside clip. It's just off a little bit. So Chris Forsberg getting a run on the board as he takes home his first run here in qualifying for the top 32.
Really putting that Voodoo 13 angle kit to the work. You could see, you know, the wheels just absolutely countered, fully locked as he exited and entered that horseshoe. As Chris awaits a score again, currently sitting 9th in the standings. An 83 gets Chris Forsberg into 3rd position. An 83 for Chris the Force Forsberg currently has him into the 3rd qualifying position. As here comes Pat Murdaunt. Pat Murdaunt in the Drift Paddock Falcon tires, 350Z. V8 under the hood. This vehicle operated by Tyler McCory Racing. And here we go, Pat Murdaunt coming down the hill. Initiates into that first clip. Nice job, gets it tight. Coming up the hill, let's see how he, wow, look at that, ripping up the hill. Gets into the rumble strip a bit too much. Ryan, is that deserving of a 0? I'd have to think so. I would have to think that will be a 0, as a huge correction as he came off the rumble strip and the dirt, and there it is. Pat Murdaunt, unfortunately, a 0 on his first run. He does have a second run, though, as do all the drivers. We're now into the top 7. Now, currently, Robbie Nishida doesn't have any power steering, I'm told, by the Bridges Racing team in his brand new G37 here of Robbie Nishida. So he's been campaigning that SC chassis for quite some time, and now here he is in a brand new. It was debuted at SEMA and obviously worked on through the off season, and they parked it for Long Beach, but here it is for the 2nd round. As Long Beach is a very unforgiving track, this is a little more forgiving. But don't tell that to Justin Pollock. Yesterday he got into a tussle with the wall and actually cracked his fuel cell. So here comes Nishida, who's minus some power steering. That's going to be an arm wrestling match in the cockpit of the Achilles Radial G37. Here we go. Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida comes in, and that's all she wrote. That's going to be a 0. So unfortunately for Nishida, he'll finish out the course. But as Nishida heads back up the hill, that will be a 0, a goose egg for Nishida. All right, so moving right along. So 2 drivers we didn't see, but we understand that Chelsea Denofa is back atop the hill in that rented vehicle. But Dai Yoshihara, he was out on his first run. As we were seeing The Rock, Tyler McCory, Mobil 1 GoPro Chevrolet Camaro on Falcon tires. Tyler Rock McCory. Remember, hashtag FDATL, Formula Drift, presented by GoPro. GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. As McCory flying down the hill in that Chevrolet Camaro on Falcon tires. Whoa, using the whole course with the wide swing. Good consistent smoke, showing you he's on throttle. Getting all the way out to that rear clipping zone, on and off the throttle. Standing on it, pushing it through the floorboard is McCory. Woo! Man, an all-American battle here as a JTP with that big score. Is Tyler McCory gonna knock him off, Ryan?
I don't think so. A lot of drivers having some trouble right here in this first part of the course. You can see Tyler goes way wide on that first inside clip. It almost causes him to almost spin out. He's able to bring it back around and save it, but that should be a pretty sizable mistake. I don't think that's going to be anywhere near your #1 qualifier. He's able to get back into that first outer zone. Nice job right there on that second inside clip. Good transition here. The second part of the course is pretty good for Tyler McCory, but that first part just kind of overshooting the first inside clip and almost causing himself to make much bigger of a mistake than he did. Great job in saving it. I think he's going to get a decent score, but he's definitely going to want that one back and try to shoot for run #2.
Fans watching from all over the world. Bach VW watching from Holland. We got James Hudson. Fans tuning in to the live stream. We appreciate it. Let everybody know. We got B Plumber 808. Car Guy Dennis is watching as well. Devo Drift Scum, they're here in the building. But many fans watching across the globe, so let them know. Hashtag FDATL, Sweet and Low watching. Hashtag FDATL. You can tag myself as well at Jared Deanda or Ryan J. Sage. Let us know you're watching the comfort of your own home. The webcast live stream of Formula Drift ATL. So McCory definitely not near the top with a 74. So currently 11th. Like the latter part of the track, but as you said, Ryan, that initiation, the judges said they don't want to hear him kind of and then really lift on initiation, because it gets quiet. All you're going to hear are the squealing of the tires, so unless they're on it. All right, so here we are. This is currently 4th in points coming to this round of competition. He's ready to rock. He's the professional fun haver in his Monster Energy Nitto tire Mustang RTR. It's part of the Gum Out gang. Vaughn Gittin Jr., former Formula Drift champion 2010 season. Unprecedented 6 podiums out of 7 rounds of competition. Wow, Vaughn absolutely tearing it up the hill, getting the outside clip. Woo, slamming it. Coming back down, absolutely annihilated the course. Make some noise for Vaughn Gittin Jr., everybody. Ryan, is that our new #1 qualifier?
Well, take a look at this. Pay attention to the initiation here. See the lacking of e-brake. He's really confident in where he set himself up. He does a great job. A lot of drivers using too much e-brake right there. And then again, coming up the hill, not a lot of e-brake here, just a little bit of positioning. He gets right up on that the first outer zone. Not as deep as you'd like to see, but good enough for a great score, which looks like this is going to be on a midline right here coming down the hill. Good transition back right here. Nice fluidity. He's able to hit that last inside clip.
Like you said, there's not a lot of e-brake on initiation. You see him actually roasting the tires on throttle into that first front clip. And, you know, some guys claiming he's 5th, some 4th, some saying he's our #1 qualifier. We'll see. Is it Brooks, Thor, or Marty who's buying the tab? As we are waiting the verdict here. And remember, we are only in the top 4. We still have, or excuse me, top 5. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. is currently 5th. And no, with an 85, he slides into 2nd. So all the guys in Rowdy are wrong as Vaughn Gittin Jr. slides into 2nd. Ryan, I mean, look at where he's leaving the points on the board. 3 from the style judge, and man, I don't know.
Yeah, just he had some slight corrections. I mean, the 85 is basically up there close to the #1 qualifying position. So, you know, you get above that 85-90 mark, you can definitely guarantee you're going to be in the top 3. So that was a good run by Vaughn. Now he's got one in the books, and he can really let it hang all out for run number 2.
I like that. Here we go, Matt Field from San Jose, California. The 777 hitting the slot machines. We'll see if it comes up cherries. Here we go, Matt Field, CX Racing. He's on Yokohama tires in the supercharged V8 S14. Part of that hardcore crew. Whoa! Really parking it there. Ryan, I didn't see anybody with that approach. I mean, he was diving in towards that rear clipping zone and absolutely just bulked going in there. That was interesting.
Well, out of a lot of the young drivers in the series, Matt Field is definitely one of the guys you think is going to be the next superstar in Formula Drift. You can see his aggressive style is something that people really, really like right here. He just gets a little bit too aggressive, has to get on the e-brake right there to avoid going off course. We'll have to see how the judges interpret that halt or balking, as you're saying there, Jared. But outside of that, you can see he's just a guy that loves throttle. He's pretty consistent in that 4th place finish in Long Beach. Definitely really exciting to watch. Great driver. We'll see if this run is enough for him. I have a feeling that knowing Matt Field, he's going to want to come back stronger for run number 2.
Ryan, speaking of Long Beach, as we get into our top 3, we're on CBS Sports this year. Do you have the dates and times of, because we've broken up Long Beach into 2 episodes. Round 1, the first of 16 to 8 just aired on Wednesday, and then actually the second half of it airs when?
Here we go. We'll do this first.
All right, Matt Field currently 19th with a score of 70.
Yeah, everybody will basically be here at the event tomorrow, but put your DVRs on. We've got Long Beach episode number 2 airing at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then a repeat on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. For Long Beach episode number 2, which is the episode where we find out who wins the event. So
I think that's really cool. Obviously, you could set your DVR, and we're airing, you know, the rounds a lot closer to the next round. So here we go. Ryan Turk, who's currently 3rd in points in that Retax Lifestyle Backpacks Champion Spark Plugs United States Air Force Maxxis Tire Shrouded 2JZ Scion FRS. So there it is, another driver having issues, really dancing with the edge of that track. Brings it through the course and wraps it out of the horseshoe. Seeming to be a lot more settled, the car. I mean, that's you know, over the kind of development of this FRS chassis, you know, Turk, his vehicle seems to be a lot more settled over the years.
No doubt. This iteration of the FRS seems to be suiting Ryan very, very well. You can see he makes a little bit of a mistake right there, brings the wheels back around, almost goes straight for a second right here. He's trying to push out as hard as he can to this first outer zone. He doesn't get as deep as you'd like. He touches just there for a second. Nice job right here on that second inside clip. Good transition down the hill here. Nice fluidity, keeping those angles of those tires very locked right there, but then he misses that last inside clip by about 3-4 feet. So not the best run from Ryan Turk, but definitely looking like very settled in that car and a lot more comfortable than we've seen him in vehicles in the past.
Yeah, and right now you got to think a big confidence booster coming off of Long Beach and grabbing that final podium spot, that 3rd place spot. And, you know, man, the plot thickened there. And you know, as far as storytelling, it was crazy how everything unfolded there in Long Beach. But right now, the story tells us that Ryan Turk is currently 8th with a score of 78.
Yeah, no doubt. It's interesting with Long Beach. I think between the top 3 guys, any one of those guys could have won that event because there were so many things that happened with contact and competition timeouts and so many crazy things, which is so typical of Long Beach, especially in that last inside clip, that I think those 3 guys right there could have just as easily been at the top, but it was great to all see them on the top of the podium together.
And you know, yeah, we'll get to it in a moment. As Odi Bakshis, who's currently sitting 2nd. All right, Odi coming in. Odomus Coming into the rear clipping zone, the ARC Performance Fuel Suspension Nitto tire, S14. As Odie, manhandling this course right now in his S14. Now you got to think too, Odie Bakshi's in round 1, he had his Hyundai Genesis Coupe that now is getting its passport stamped in Canada, China, and Japan.
Yeah, no doubt. He's definitely doing the World Championship Tour. And you can see Odie right here a little on the e-brake a little bit longer than you'd like. He's trying to set himself up. He does get right up on that first inside clip. Nice job right here staying wide. He's trying to shoot to this first outer zone, but he does not fill it as much as he would like to. Maybe a lot of guys in the second run are going to take a little bit more risk and try to get up to that first outer zone, because that's really where you can get a lot of points and get up into that 85-90 realm. Does a great job the rest of the course. Very aggressive driving. Nice job by Odie. Expect to have a good score here.
All right, so we're waiting for the score. Remember, we have Frederick Osbo after this, as Tom JZN is watching at home. Also, Super Ick 21, look at that. Cranking some brews and watching some drifting. German Lowell, Tomimoto. Odie Bakshi's with an 82 is currently 5th. So there you go. They laid $1 short there, Thor, as Odie Bakshi's with 5th. As here's our current points leader, the Norwegian Hammer, Frederick Osbo. This Rockstar Energy Drink, Scion TC. Rocket Bunny shrouded, here we go. Frederick Osbo, car 151. We'll see if he's a little bit crazy here. Throws it in, coming up the hill, lighting him up. When I say it, I mean the Hankook tires. Brings it on around. And back to where it all began. Make some noise for all our qualifying drivers. Those are the first runs. Those are the first runs of all the drivers, Ryan.
Well, the biggest, widest line right here by Frederick Osbo on initiation. Does a nice job getting up into that first inside clip right here. And he's definitely driving around these days with an air of confidence that you haven't seen from him in the past. He knows he can win a championship. He was so close last year. And right here, he's playing down a pretty good run that'll definitely get him a good score for this first run of qualifying here, making our way into the top 32 tomorrow. So good transition right here on that last inside clip. This should be a keeper for Frederick Osbo, and he'll try to better up the next time around.
All right, so we are waiting for Frederick Osbo's score, and we'll start back at the bottom. We'll work our way to the top to see where we are as we wait for Frederick Osbo's score. And there it is, an 88 as Frederick Osbo jumps into the #1 qualifying position. Ryan, is that how you thought it was going to go?
Definitely, up there for Frederick Osbo. I think that was very deserving, very aggressive. He did not lift, used a very little e-brake, so I think that's deserving of at least the #1 spot.
All right, so our #1 qualifier now, Frederick Osbo. Sitting pretty, and there it is. Win a set of wheels. Tag a photo of you watching this weekend's event. FD Drifts, DRIFZ 15, and enter to win a free set of Drifts wheels. So hardcore wheels for the street, produced by ATD Wheels. So you could win a set of Drifts wheels. Just tag FD Drifts 15 and enter to win a free set of Drifts wheels. Thank you so much for joining us. So we'll gather our thoughts, get some fresh rubber, get some fresh gas. When we come back, we're here for the second run from all our drivers here at Formula Drift, presented by GoPro.
Head over to xtousa.com right now.
He came here about 3 months ago. He swam in off the lake after a big storm. He couldn't fly, and he's lost his parents. Come on, my boy, you're going to go for a fly. Okay, spread your wings. Spread your wings. Fly, fly. We've actually had to teach him to fly by running up and down the beach, flapping our arms.
Rush of driving a Mustang felt like never before.
I could happily probably cry right now.
Wow, that's insane.
It makes you feel like,
Wow, that is amazing.
Introducing the all-new Ford Mustang. Experience more online now.
We're for guys who wrench, torque, and tune, who love tools and power. Why are they so important? Because without them, this won't get delivered on time. And he doesn't cross the finish line. At Universal Technical Institute, the world's top companies help build our program so you can get the education you need to achieve success in the automotive, diesel, motorcycle, collision repair, and marine industries. We're for success, your success. Visit UTISuccess.com.
I am the trusty co-pilot. The moving part that moves all 2,000 parts. I am the translator who interprets the road, the permission to take the scenic route, and the guide that gets you there safely. I'm not just any tire. I am a Yokohama.
part of the key to us doing well is understanding that what we do is high risk. And understanding that at some point we're going to mess up, we're going to fail. And once you're accustomed to that thought, once you've realized you are going to mess up at some point, you're ready for that, and that's when the fear doesn't bother you anymore.
All right, Mad Mike Wadette currently sitting 28th. Mad Mike Wadette currently sitting 28th here in his deemed Rad Bull twin turbo 4-rotor MX-5. Red Bull Nitto tires, iLab clothing, selling some exclusive iLab collaborations, featuring Rad Bull in the camo livery. Here we go. Mad Mike Wadette for his second running of the Rad Bull. Into that first front clip, popping and locking. Coming in hot, the rotiform spinning into that rear clipping zone. the PPRE built 4-rotor from New Zealand. Man, the old Houdini flying down the track and back up the hill. Woo! Man, raising some eyebrows not only here, but also the Duke at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Look at that, even gaining some applause.
Yeah, I think what you see out of that run right there is full-on potential. If he can really lock in and dial in the way he wants to, he's going to be gnarly. You can see right there, he's on throttle as soon as he comes through. The first inside clip, great job right there. Tons of throttle up the hill right here. Very little e-brake, but he's not able to get completely into that zone. Does a pretty good job. That's where he makes a mistake right there. He has to adjust as he comes into that second inside clip. That was probably the biggest mistake that he made. And then another little one right here, trying to lock in on the angles. Isn't able to all the way. So some noticeable mistakes, but very aggressive driving from Mad Mike Woodette. Going to be, you know, one of the guys that you really pay attention to when it comes to tandem tomorrow if he can make it in the top 32. Well, let's take a look at his score.
All right, so Mad Mike Woodette slides in a second with an 87. Second with an 87. A good showing for Mad Mike Woodette. Definitely going to keep him in, and we'll see him in head-to-head competition for tomorrow. So that is a great feeling. A lot of pressure off his shoulders as Larry Chen sprints across the track. Ryan Davis and the Year Productions team, Sully. George, how we doing, buddy? M Drift and the whole Drift family. Here we go. James Evans coming down the hill. Just Drift. James Evans coming back up the hill. Woo, another driver going for it right now. Evans. A little hit it and quit it there off of that rear clipping zone. As Evans heads back up. Ryan, let's take a look at it again.
So you can see just a very easy flowing transition or initiation right here by Evans into this first inside clip. He's a little bit wide right there, almost drops off course. He's able to save it, come back around to this first outer zone right here. Goes a little bit long and then has to leave the zone just a little bit early, a little bit wide right there on that second inside clip as well. Now trying to find a line to lock in right here as he comes back around this last inside clip. And just crosses the finish line right there. So we'll see where that puts Evans as he finishes up his second run of qualifying here, trying to make his way into the top 32.
So James Evans, Isiki Racing V8 350Z. Gets a 67, which puts him into 26th position. So James Evans with a 67 currently sits in 26th. Driver from Baltimore, Maryland. Owner-operator of Siki. As Brandon Wicknick, Chase Bays, 2JZ, turbo by Garrett, S13, is leaving the start line. And here he comes through that start chicane. Here comes the Wicknick. See if he can light it up. Comes into the first front clip. A little bit of hesitation, but now pours it on. You can hear him bouncing over the rumble strip. Quite a bit of distance off of that front clip. Tries to tighten it back up as he heads down the hill and past that final front clip. And there's Wicknick. Ryan, some major mistakes there from Brandon, unfortunately.
Looks like right now, currently the cutoff for top 32 is right around 59 points. So Wicknick trying to get above that as high as he possibly can. Good transition right there coming up the hill. Makes a big mistake right here. Is not able to fill the zone. It's really on a really shallow line right there, and then it causes him to go very wide on this second inside clip right here. Now coming downhill, trying to lock in on a line here. It's on a middle line. Transitions, last one, going up the hill right here. Nice job on that last inside clip. So nice high point right there to end it off for Brandon Wicknick, but a few mistakes leading up to that point.
All right, so Wicknick awaits his score. And And here's Wicknick's score. So look at that, barely outside of that bubble, a 62. Now you got to think, Ryan, there's a few drivers that have some zeros on the board, and that's how we kind of started, you know, the first runs for these drivers. So Wicknick sitting in 31st with a 62. That's not a comfortable position to be in, given who else has to run and sitting with a 0. I mean, Castro, I know he had a 0. Jun Meng, he has a 0. Don't know if Jun Meng's vehicle's up to snuff right now. You know, coming from Long Beach, that car, no practice runs, just hit the course and did not make it. And, you know, again, that Z4, that 2JZ powered Z4, a very unique chassis and a unique build. Throwing caution to the wind. Here we go. Jun Meng, Lucas Oil, Map TV, Protect the Harvest. BMW Z4, nice job coming in. Looks like it's keeping it together way off of that rear clipping zone, but now tightens it up. Not the prettiest, but does keep it sideways. Is that a scoreable run? I'm seeing yes, it is a scoreable run.
Yeah, I think this will definitely get him out of the 0 predicament. That's at bare minimum what he wanted right here. But, you know, not the greatest run by Jun. Trying to dial in that vehicle, put himself in a position where he can use the vehicle the way that he wants to. But it seems like he's just fighting it a little bit, Jared, here. He's unable to get out to this first outer zone here. And right on that middle line. Comes around to the inside clip, goes a little bit wide right there, transitions back around. Now he's able to hang on to it, makes a little minor mistake coming out of the horseshoe here and back around to the last inside clip up the hill. So he'll definitely get a score. He's out of the 0 position. Will it put him high enough in the category or in the driver's field to make it into the top 32? That's the question.
Okay, and Jun Meng with a 61. So, man, he's even sitting closer to the bubble with a 61. Puts him into 32nd. All right, so next up, that's Michael Essa. Michael Essa here. Coming down in the Street Legal Performance SLP Yokohama Tire Chevrolet Camaro. Nice job. There we go. He's a driver that is currently sitting on a 0. He did not make it past that front clip on initiation. And now here he is, bringing it around, transitioning through. As long as he wraps around that final clip, looks like it's going to get a score on the board. And there it is.
So Michael Essa, another driver with a little bit of vehicle blues in round number 1, trying to get that vehicle up to the level of his driving skill. Trying to do the best he can to make the most of the situation right here, depending on where he's at in the development of that vehicle. It's a pretty good job right here, at least staying out of the position for a 0, which is what he had on the first run, trying to make it into the top 32. Good middle line right here, setting himself up for this last transition. Good job right there as he crosses right on that inside clip. So for Michael Essa, this should be a scored run. Should get him out of the 0 position. Where it'll plop him into the top 32, we'll find out with the score.
I don't think that's in that 71 to 73 range we were seeing a lot of, but like you said, that's you know, Jun Meng and Michael Essa in that freshman blue. But look at that, a 78 puts him into 11th. Man, it's a pretty good score given that run. I mean, is that kind of in the spectrum that you saw?
Well, you can see he got a lot of deductions for the line, and that was really the biggest issue. Is he wasn't really focusing on the line, but the angle was pretty decent. And I guess if you're talking about angle being a big factor in style and overall impact, he was able to get some points up for that, but really suffering on the line, and that's what hurt his score overall.
All right, here we go. Jonathan Castro in the E3 Spark Plugs Hankook Tire Progresso 370Z. Now he's sitting on a 0 after his first run. He makes it past that point of no return that Michael Essa saw earlier. Some lurching forward, some lunging forward from Castro. And out of the horseshoe. Castro just, you know, coming off of Long Beach, just doesn't seem to have that confidence there on this run.
Another driver trying to get himself out of the zero. A little bit of a tire drop right there. Gets back on it. Nice job on that inside clip. Good transition right here. Lots of throttle coming up the hill right here. Gets on the brake just for a second right there. Locks it up. Another driver right there taking that middle line, just not taking enough risk to get out to that outer zone. Causes him to miss that second inside clip. And coming down the hill here. Good transition in the last part of the course and doing a nice job on that last inside clip. So for Jonathan Castro, definitely improvement over his first run. That was a 0. We'll see where it puts him up into the category of drivers at this point and see where it can get him into the top 32.
Okay. As Castro with a 72 gets into 22nd, so that's a pretty good position to be in. It's a really good position for Castro. As now we are seeing, I believe it should be Mats Bederbo. Mats Bederbo at the top of the hill. We are clear to send.
So Mats is also another driver sitting on that 62 in 32nd place. So this is definitely a make or break for Mats.
All right, so here we go. Mats coming in golden net on Falcon tires, Mark II. Lose him in the shadows here. Way off of that rear clipping zone. A lot of the drivers, you know, just not setting themselves up in this horseshoe. So you look at the leaderboard, Osbo with an 88. That is obviously the top of the heap right now.
Well, let's take a look at Mats. He's sitting on a 62, trying to better that number to make his way into tomorrow's competition. Right there on that first inside clip. Good transition here coming up the hill. Stays kind of like on a mid-wide line, then really maxes out the angle, but unable to fill that outer zone here as he comes around to the second inside clip. Just a little bit long on that. Transitioning now down the hill on a middle line right here, trying to max angle out, comes back up on the inside, and then the last transition right there puts him out of position for that last inside clip by about 4 feet right here. So trying to better trying to better a 62 is Mats Bederbo. Will he do it?
All right, Mats awaits a score as Big Sam the man watching. Getting psyched. He's rooting for the Rad Bull here. Mats Bederbo with 72 puts him in a 21st position. So man, look at this, Ryan. Some of these drivers just getting into the into the middle of the pack.
And you can see again right there a lot of deductions on line. So where drivers are really having a tough time is on this upper part of the course here, not getting out to that outer zone. The line judge really taking a lot of points away there, but able to maintain some good points from angle and style. So keeping him up there in the overall driver count.
Well, if you know Jeff Jones, you've used the word for him, relentless. We'll see if we see the relentless Jeff Jones in this instance, the DNA Motoring turbocharged V8. He's going hard right now, coming into the rumble strip, bringing it into the rear clipping zone. Nice job so far. Jeff Jones dancing in the dirt. Also with that, you saw his front wheels counter. Now standing back on it and back up the hill as he takes out that final front clip. That clip doing double duty. It's the first front clip and the last.
So here we go for Jeff Jones, an aggressive start here. Look at the snap back on this initiation right here. Nice job, gets on the brakes a little bit to set himself up, does an awesome job on that first inside clip. A little bit of shakiness coming up the hill right here, but saves it, is able to stay pretty fluid right here. Doesn't go as deep as he'd like, but pretty close to that outer zone here, trying to max the angle out. A little bit of shimmy right there on that second inside clip. Now coming down the hill here, Jeff Jones trying to put on a good show for the fans and the judges. Takes out that last inside clip on the front right of his bumper. So slight deduction there as well, but overall a pretty aggressive run by Jeff Jones, trying to move his way up the ladder in here in the qualifying for top 32.
Rival House Ryan, how we doing? Watching from their new home in St. Louis as we are waiting for the score here. Pretty good run there from Jones. Double J Jones. All right, so still waiting. Where is he going to land? Here we go. 72 puts him into 24th. That's a good position for the DNA Motoring Turbo life of Jeff Jones. All right. And there he is on the start line. Who do we have? This is none other than Mr. Masashi Yokoi, D-Max Racing, Yokohama Tires, Sylvia S15. All right, here we go, Yokoi. Watching all the way from Norway, Andreas. And watching from Japan, cheering on their boy Yokoi. Woo! Man, ripping up the hill. Nice counter. Look at the degree of angle. His car was almost perpendicular to the road. Yokoi heading back down the hill. And back up. Makes some noise for Masashi Yokoi.
Yeah, the second half of that run right there was pretty devastatingly aggressive, but watch initiation right here. Watch the amount of e-brake. He comes very, very fast in an e-brake. Hold, 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 hold. That's a little bit too much, but he probably needed to do it to get himself into position. Then he's back on the throttle here, dips the tire. Good transition right here. Makes a little shimmy movement right here. He's on the middle line. He misses that outer zone here, but very aggressive on the throttle, quickly getting through the course. So a lot of style points potentially here on the table for Yokoi, but missing that line, and then on initiation, just holding that e-brake probably a little bit too long. We'll see how much of a ding that takes away from his overall points as he tries to be yet another driver to make himself into the top 32 for tomorrow. Right now, a 69 is basically the cutoff for top 32. I think he's got that. We'll see where he fits in.
All right, so we'll see where he lands. An 80 puts Masashi Yokoi in that D-Max Yokohama Tire S15 into 5th position. Yokoi is in 5th after his second run.
So you can see once again right there, getting dinged on style and on line. I got to imagine that e-brake was a big ding on style, and then line on that second or the first outer zone, just not able to fulfill it right there. So leaving 10 points on the table here for Yokoi.
Little text, Nate Hamilton. What monsters do in Juku Racing Falcon Tires S13. Looking calm and collect here. Good consistent, good fluidity here from Hamilton. Looking a lot more comfortable than his first run. Shoots a little wide there around that front clip and through that exiting the horseshoe. Now heading back up the hill, Nate Hamilton at Team 144 S13. Razor Blade, his dad on the team. Here we go, Brian, break it down.
Nate Hamilton into initiation right here. Nice job on that first inside clip. Good measurement right there as he comes up the hill. So on a pretty good line right here. Yet again, another driver on that middle line, just not reaching out to that outer zone. So definitely going to get some line dings there as well as on that second inside clip. Now coming down the hill here, he's on a kind of a wide line just outside the mid-range, and he's able to use it to transition back around and stay pretty close to that last inside clip. So nice job on the last part of the course right there by Nate Hamilton.
All right, Nate Hamilton awaiting his score. Where does he land? Shout out to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day this Sunday. Julie DeNofa, she just messaged me and the community, and it's pretty rad to see all the moms in the building. Beth Egger, I know Baby B's here in the building as well. 77 puts Nate Hamilton into 14th, a very comfortable position for Little Tex. Nate Hamilton in that turbocharged V8 S13. All right, Senate car. This is car number 34 of Tanner Faust. Foxy, the golden child, whatever you want to call him. Two-time Formula 2 champion at Rockstar Energy Volkswagen Passat. Dances with the dirt and brings it up top. Way off of that rear clipping zone. A big long Passat. Park that thing there. Pick up the groceries, send it back up the hill. Look at the counter steer. Man, the angle from that thing. Big, long, four-door sedan. That DTM style wing. As Tanner Faust Ryan, take a look at it again.
Yeah, here we go. Tanner Faust, very aggressive right here, 90 degrees coming up on that first inside clip, goes a little bit wide, saves it, does not go off course, but really liking the way that Tanner is developing this vehicle. You can see he's getting more and more confident, more and more aggressive. He's on that middle line right there, and yet another driver to miss that first outer zone. It caused him to go wide on that second inside clip. Brings it back around, does a nice job on that last inside clip. But you can see he's definitely going to get some deductions online, but I think style-wise and angle, he had some good points on there. So this should be potentially improvement for Tanner Faust.
All right. Tanner Faust, again, two-time Formula Drift champion. I haven't seen him in competition in 5 years. So Tanner waiting for his score. And Tanner Faust with an 80. Puts him currently in 10th position. So Tanner Faust in the big show for tomorrow's main event. Game day at FDATL, hashtag FDATL. All right, so here we go. Coming down the pipe. Dean Carnage Carney, Oracle Lighting, Achilles Radial Dodge Viper SRT10. Way hitting and getting into that front clip. Now getting deep into that rear clipping zone. So all over the track is Dean Carney. Take a look at that ticker of the score as Dean Carney comes back up the hill.
I don't think Dean was super happy with his first run. Trying to make an improvement on the second run here. He comes up a little bit tight and close on this inside clip right here. Just takes out it just by the front left right there. Then he gets back on the throttle, very aggressive up the hill, trying to go as deep as he possibly can. Does a pretty good job. Not a lot of guys are actually getting that deep, which I'm kind of surprised on the second run. We haven't seen that just yet. But Dean now shooting down the hill here. He's on kind of a low middle line. Good transition, nice snap back around, and right where that clip was would have been perfect job right there by Dean Carney. So good run for him here in run number 2 as we make our way through qualifying.
Okay. As waiting for his score. Next, as Dean Carney grabs a 71, puts him into the 26th position. So after Dean Carney, we should be seeing Kenny Moen. Kenny Moen in the Achilles Radial Bridges Racing Gottville S14. Sending car, here he comes. Kenny Moen. Oh, so fast, oh, so smooth. Ripping up the course. Slamming into the rumble strips. Look at Kenny Moen. Tight to that keyhole. And brings it on back down. Man, make some noise for Kenny Moen. Putting together a solid showing here. Ryan, does that warrant a top 5?
I think it very well may. You can see right here, he's very consistent and aggressive all the way through. He does drop that tire on initiation. Should be a slight deduction, but perfect on that first inside clip. Now watch the fluidity here. You see his angles are, his tires are at lock basically all the way around. He does go pretty deep right here on that first outer zone. Again, not a lot of drivers doing that. Super tight to that second inside clip. Good transition down the hill right here. Nice fluidity, lots of smoke, great angle, and then right on that last inside clip. Not a lot of things to nitpick there for Kenny Moen. That's a tremendous run.
Okay, so, man, we'll see where he stands after that very aggressive run. And here it is, 84 puts Kenny Moen into 6th, so just outside of the top 5, but a solid, strong run, and that will keep him obviously into tomorrow's main event. All right, here comes our next vehicle. After Kenny Moen, that will be Kyle Mohan. So I talked about Kyle Mohan's first run. Let's see how he goes here. Now, June Meng, look at that. Pat Mordaunt, he's not in the running. Robin Ishida, 0. Look at this, the GT Radio, Mazda Speed, RX-8, Mazda Tricks. Nice job by Mohan. A little bit of a slowing of the RX-8 after that rear clipping zone. Woo! Mohan, the menace. Make some noise for Kyle Mohan.
Well, here we go. Kyle Mohan on run number 2. Initiating right here on the brakes, trying to position himself to that first inside clip. Goes deep into that corner there, now up the hill right here. Just a slight shimmy right there as he gets into position. Gets into the zone a little bit early. Gets out of the zone a little bit early right there. Trying to go as deep as he can. Shoots a little bit wide on that second outer zone. Now coming back around downhill right here. Full lock. Nice smoke. Great job on the throttle right there. Huge plume right there as he comes back around that last inside clip. A pretty good run right there by Kyle Mohan.
All right, so Mohan awaits his score. Does he better his first run? I mean, I was definitely thinking that his first run was a solid one. 74 puts him into 19th. So he's in top 32 head to head. I have to think he's going to be strong tomorrow in head to head. We'll see, but right now a 74 gets him into 19th. All right, so after Kyle Mohan, it's Kristaps Blus in the EE Team HGK Achilles Radial Motul BMW from Latvia. He did get a 0 on his first run. So will Kristaps Blus get a run here and get a score, excuse me. All right, here we go. Kristaps from Latvia. Is he going to throw it down? Truly international affair here. Come on, Kristaps. EHGK Motul Achilles Radial BMW coming up the hill. Bringing it on in. Gets the outside clip. Could be closer, but oh, buddy. Almost falling on his face, but keeps it together. And back up. So right here in front of the judges, you saw that hiccup there. Almost fell down.
Well, no doubt a better run than run number 1. He had that big hiccup on initiation, incomplete initiation, sitting on a 0, trying to make his way into the top 32. Does a pretty good job right here on that first inside clip. Good transition here coming up the hill. He's coming in with a lot of speed, has to get on the brake right here. He's able to reach out and just get into that zone for a second, but then he overshoots by a long margin right there. That second inside clip, gets back on it, tries to find the line that he's looking for to transition into this last inside clip. Good snappy transition right there and hits that inside clip. So good job right there on the last portion of the course by Kristaps Blus.
All right, so as we wait for the score, hashtag FDATL. Let everybody know you are here and in the building as Kristaps grabs a 69, dude, as he is in 30th. So that's not where you want to be, but man, Kristaps, he currently is in, but where will he land when everybody runs? So Kristaps barely in as it stands now. Next up, Mark Landerville from Canada. Mark Landerville, 2JZ S14. Little pink paradise on the vehicle. The Perry Performance S14, I might add. Yeah, ripping up the hill. Nice job by Landerville. Run BC, he's running those Brian Crowder components under the hood, and Achilles Radial on the corners as Landerville, a former champion in Canada, dances with the dirt as he crosses the finish line.
Landerville, another one of these drivers that comes down the front straight with a lot of speed right here and then kind of cruises into the first inside clip right there. And the judges definitely made a point of that in the driver's meeting. That'll affect his style score mostly. But then coming up the hill right here, tries to swing out as wide as he possibly can, kind of on a midline right there, misses that outer zone. Nice job on that second inside clip. Good little transition right here coming down the hill, kind of on a wide midline right here. Good angle, last transition back, and is able to hit that last inside clip.
All right, as Landerville awaits, we are working our way through. Currently at the 24th driver of Landerville. About halfway through our running order. Landerville with a 76 puts him into 16th. So Landerville with a 76 puts him into 16th qualifying position, right in the middle of the pack. Remember, tomorrow, #1 qualifier goes against number 32nd right now. Frederick Osbo still in that #1 position. All right, so here we go with Conrad Grunwald, the always evolving GT Radial. Vehicle prepared by BRE out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Conrad Grunwald coming into that first front clip. Nice job coming up the hill. Yeah, Conrad into that rear clipping zone. Unfortunately, gets him thrown off of that front clip in the keyhole, but now pounding it on his way back up the hill. Makes some noise for Conrad Grunwald. Ryan, I like what he did there on the keyhole. Seemed consistent, but it did throw him off of that front clip exiting the keyhole.
Well, look at the initiation right here. I mean, even though he was on the e-brake for a little bit right there, that was one of the most aggressive initiations we've seen all night, and he is kind of known for that on this course, and also one of the only drivers to actually get really deep into that first outer zone. Like you said, a little bit of a mistake right there. He goes a little bit long on that second inside clip right here. And look at the wheel lift right there on the left-hand side by Conrad Grunwald. Full lot coming down the hill right here. This is a good run by Conrad Grunwald. Really taking some risks on that second run, trying to put on a show for the fans and the live stream. So I commend him for that. Nice job by Conrad.
All right, so and you know, I know that, you know, talking to the judges, basically, you know, with that, you know, Conrad's kind of previous years, he's really gone for that backwards entry. It looks cool, but you got to keep it consistent. You got to keep it fluid. I think that was a good compromise of aggressiveness. Look at that, Conrad Grunwald, our #1 qualifier. Conrad Grunwald with a 91. Woo! The always evolving Chevrolet Camaro of Conrad Grunwald on GT Radial's Megan Racing from Texas. The Lone Star is now leading the pack. Here we go, the Goosh, Ken Gooshy. Gretty Racing, Scion Racing. FRS on Hankook tires. Here we go, barking into that first front clip. Brings it up the hill, flying, ripping, gripping into that rear clipping zone. Ooh, nice way to tighten that up in the keyhole. Look at the Hankook tire smoke. The 2JZ powered FRS. Up the Goosh, Ken Gooshy. Brian, a good run there from the Goosh.
That's definitely a motivated Ken Gooshy right there. I know he was not happy with his performance and outcome in Long Beach. Probably not happy with run #1 right here, but run #2, pretty good job by Ken Gooshy. Let's break it down as he comes into that first inside clip. He's perfect on that first inside clip. Great job right here, counterlock, just a tiny little shimmy right here as he angles up and gets really deep into that first outer zone. Almost perfect on that second inside clip. Good transition right here, nice fluidity. The throttle really comes on right here as he maxes out the angle and back around to this last inside clip. There's no major mistakes right there by Ken Gooshy and very few things to nitpick at. This should definitely put him up there as far as qualifying is concerned.
All right, let's see it. Where does Ken Gooshy land? Does he better than 91 of Conrad Grunwald? I have a feeling that, you know, we're just going to see these drivers just more and more, as you said, Ryan, motivated. And, you know, that's what Gooshy needs. He needs to get back out there, I mean, and just get hungry. Here we go, the Goosh. 89, puts him in a second. An 89 puts the Goosh into second. That's the confidence builder that the Goosh needs. Again, one of those handful of drivers.
And take a look at that. You can see right there, really the only negatives are 22 on angle, and that would just be maybe on initiation.
And
for
there
me.
was, that's it. And there was 1 point missing in style. He almost grabbed all the style points from the style judge. All right, here we go. This is Daigo, the Ninja Saito, Achilles Motorsport Bridges Racing GTR. All right, brings it on in. You can hear him standing on it. Running Voodoo 13 suspension as well. Look at that tire bounce. 21-inch wheels or 20-inch wheels. Whoa. Kind of an interesting kind of throttle play there. I mean, Ryan, you can hear him just, just really rapping on that thing.
The second run is definitely a little bit similar to the Daigo driving style that we're used to, which is basically on the throttle, bouncing off the rev limiter. You got a sense of that in certain parts of the course. I don't think he has the car exactly the way he wants it, but you can tell the Daigo driving style is really shining through here. And if he makes it into the top 32, I think he's going to be dangerous in tandem. You can see right here, he just goes on a midline right there. It's a second to the first outer zone. Now coming down the hill right here, this is where he was kind of belaboring the throttle a little bit, but going up the hill, he was really mashing the throttle, and you can see that car is probably just going to be a beast once he gets it all sorted out. So pretty good run right there by Daigo Saito on run number 2 here in qualifying.
Okay, so Daigo awaiting his score in that Achilles Radial GTR. And there it is, Daigo Saito with a 71, puts him into 28th. So, man, Daigo Saito, from his championship year to now, just, the new car, it's definitely cool. It's got a cool factor. But as you said, Ryan, is it in running order?
The style and angle, those are the two negatives there.
Next driver, Dave Briggs. Dave Briggs, Briggs Racing, Hankook Tire, Nissan S14 from Toronto, Canada. All right, here we go. Briggs with that Mazworks built SR under the hood of his S14. And here we go, initiating into that first front flip. Good transition flying. Oh, wow, look at that big, snappy counter. Coming to the rear clipping zone. The AV Fab, turbo by Garrett. Like the fluidity here. Looking calm, looking more calm and fluid there in the second part of the run.
So here we go with Briggs on run number 2 into the initiation. A little bit on the e-brake there. Does a nice job setting himself up for inside clip number 1. Gets on the throttle, mashing it up the hill. Just a little bit of a wavering right there, but nothing super noticeable. Another guy kind of on that midline. He goes a little bit deeper than most people were, but then he goes a little bit long on that second inside clip. Good transition here. Now really trying to get on the throttle, putting himself in position. He's on an inside line trying to make his way back. It causes him to go just a tiny bit wide, about 3 feet off that last inside clip. So for David Briggs, a couple high points, a couple low points. Let's see where he slots into the top 32.
All right, let's see. Dave Briggs, again, coming into this round, Briggs was sitting 20th, 69, and he now is in 30th. So you just got to see where Briggs will be. So Dave Briggs currently sitting in 30th. Pat Gooden, the Gooden gang, king of spring break, and Juku Racing turbocharged V8, part of the Hoonigan family. Kill all the tires. Here you go, Pat Gooden. Throws into that first front clip. Nice job by Gooden. Good angle. Looking hungrier there after his first run. A lot more fluidity. Counters out of the horseshoe and back up the hill. Woo, there's the king of spring break. Pat Gooden, nice job there.
So do or die moment right here for Pat Gooden, Jared, as he's sitting on a 68. That is the cutoff for top 32. Let's see what he can do on the second run. Good snappy transition right there. Very little e-brake. Positions himself perfectly on that first inside clip. Good transition up the hill here. Trying to shoot out as wide as he possibly can. Very little use of e-brake. Just a lot of throttle right there. Does a pretty good job on that first outer zone. Nice job on that second inside clip. Great job right there as he comes down the hill here. This is definitely looking a lot like Pat Gooden form as opposed to the first run, and does a nice job on that last inside clip. This should definitely improve his 68. Where will it put him into the top 32? We'll find out.
Where will Pat Gooden land as he awaits and finds out? 14th, qualifying 14th right now. Pat Gooden with a 79 puts him into 14th position. So Pat Gooden, Turbo Life, and Juku Racing as Alec Honadell from Florida, another driver from Florida. Supercharged V8, getting that Laboratory S14, the 11 Racing. Here comes the young one, that is Alec Honadell. All right, looks like the Doof kit is strapped on as we counter and then head up the hill. Here's Alec, look at that. Wow, nice and tight. Now here we go, stand on it. Wow, look at the angle from Alec. Solid run there by Alec Honadell. Wow.
Driver beware. Alec Honadell just put down a pretty killer run right here. Nice transition right here. Watch the way he maxes out the angle right there to save speed. Then he comes back around, makes a snappy transition. He's able to keep the fluidity. Just a little bit of a shimmy right there in a correction for a second. But he is able to go fairly deep into that first outer zone. Perfect right there on that second inside clip. Nice snappy transition back around. Now he's really on the throttle here. Great angle, full lock all the way around. This is a great run right here by Alec Honadell. Expect to see some high scores for him as he makes his way into the top 32 for sure.
And the fashion is the function in this instance. Usually I'll say the function is the fashion, but those pink wheels, those could really hurt you because they stand out so much. If you had big correction, you see them kind of moving all over, you see black, pink, that means you're moving the car a lot and moving those front wheels. In this instance, boom, he was locked. You saw that tread. And he gets an 85. An 85 for Alec Honadell. Puts him into 7th currently.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely agree with that. That was a really good run. Very deserving for Alec Honadell.
Wow, the fans outspoken about that score, thinking he should be a lot higher.
One more time.
that would be history making. And one more time in qualifying. Sipping on that moonshine a little early, Drift Scum. A little early. Here we go. This is Forrest Wang, the head laboratory scientist at the Get Nuts Laboratory. Forrest Wang, our #1 qualifier from Long Beach. Can he back it up right now? Wow, ripping up the hill, smoking the hand-cooked tires. A little bit off that rear clipping zone, Ryan. Looking a lot smoother than his first run, if you can recall. His first run, kind of lackluster.
No shortness of impact and commitment on that one. I mean, you can nitpick on some of the line aspects of this, but you can see tons of smoke on course right here as Forrest Wang. Nice job right there on that first inside clip. Just a little bit tight on it, but just barely hitting it. Look at this angle coming up the hill and how the car squats in the back right there. Nice job. Goes as wide as he possibly can. A huge late apex right here on that second inside clip. Makes it look good, though. And nice job right here down the hill. Tons of smoke on course coming through his own smoke cloud. So I think this will better his first run. He's sitting in 11th place currently right now. Can he get into the top 10? I think that's probably the question for the judges right now as we take a look at his score.
I mean, that was he saw his boy, his fellow Get Nuts Laboratory guy come down the hill, and he's like, man, I got this.
Those guys are fabbing some good cars.
Yeah, I mean, just back to back. Let's see. 5th, he jumps up to 5th with a score of 86. And 86 puts him into 5th position. That's the way the forest crumbles. Somebody's car alarm's going off. Matt Kaufman, he's running some Thunderbolt race fuel, the first biofuel used, E98, using some food waste. Let's see if he can tear it up here. Falcon Tire smoke kicking off the back of this machine built for war. Kaufman, a wide swing, and brings it on through, counters up the hill. Matt Kaufman. Ryan, some of the fans upset there, you know, between, I think, the Alec Forrest battle. I think they saw different things.
Well, here we go with Matt Kaufman. Looks like the driver's definitely coming out of their shell on these second runs. The last 2 runs were phenomenal runs, putting him up into the top 10. Very well-deserved runs right here. Now, but Matt Kaufman trying to do the best he can to make the best impression on the judges. Goes a little bit wide right there on that second inside clip. Now coming down the hill here. Good angle. Shooting back around, trying to hit this last inside clip. Goes a little bit wide right there by Matt Kaufman. I think that will better his first score. Yeah. And we'll see where it puts him into the top 32.
Yeah, no, with Kaufman, just needs to get it closer. Just gets, you know, it's kind of one of those instances of Goosh. You just kind of need to throw it out there. But he does get a good score. 77 puts him into 18th. So Matt Kaufman is in the mix with a 77, puts him into 18th. All right, here's Charles Ng, the sparkplugs.com. Maxxis Tire G37. Because Charles Ng from Hong Kong. Look at the ticker there. Essa sitting in 16th. Ryan Turk 17th. Kaufman, as we saw him just go down, 18th. Ryan, pay attention, see where we're at as far as the bubble and where people are at. Hamilton in 19th, Landerville in 20th. Dan Savage. Look at that, a lot of 70s, 76.
It's going to be a lot of changing up in that area down there as we start taking a look at the style scores.
So Charles Ng, as you see, sitting 22nd with a score of 75. Can he better it here on his second run? He's off to a good start. Gets into the dirt. Kicks it up the hill. Comes in hot. Gets the outside edge. Can hear him fluttering the throttle. Like to hear him stand on it versus the real fluttering. So does that better a 75, Ryan? Look at that, Dean Carney. He's currently sitting 28th with a 71. I mean, pretty high scores for the bottom of the pack.
Well, here we go with Charles Ng, second run. Nice job on that first inside clip. Kind of a weak transition coming up the hill, drops the tire right there just for a little bit. Now trying to shoot wide, does a pretty good job filling that zone. Not a lot of drivers doing that like we've been saying all night, Jared. He does a good job right there. He'll get a lot of line points for that. Now as he comes down the hill, trying to find a marker for himself to get into this last inside clip. Transitions a little bit early and is able to get back and get up right up on that last inside clip before crossing the finish line. So Charles Ng, I think he will better his score on run number 2.
All right, yeah, so we will see from Ng. An 83. An 83 definitely betters it. An 83, Charles Ng puts him into 11th position. That's Charles Ng.
You can see for the guys that are getting wide in this zone here, they're really making up those line points, and that's a big difference between the guys that are driving aggressively and getting angle and style points, but they're really missing the line on this first outer zone here. So big difference right there. Charles Ng driving a nice line, conservative, puts himself right in the middle of the pack.
So Christos Blues, he is currently 32nd as James Evans. He is out. Brandon Wicknick, June Mang. And here we go with our next driver after Charles Ng. This is Jeff Stoneback. Coming in hard. Wow. Stoneback coming in way too hard. Initiates and then just shuts it down. I mean, absolutely just tanks that. As Jeff Stone Cold Stoneback, that super doof kid taking a licking and keeping on ticking. Jeff Stoneback, unfortunately, a 0 for Stoneback, but he already is in the top 32, sitting in 16th position. Hell yeah, dude. Brian, this is like last week. Brian, Michael McDonald cameo here in the building as Dan Savage giving the Morse code for I'm ready to run.
Drop some lines. You know you got a good one.
This is my Michael McDonald impression. All right, so Dan Savage having some issues here as all right, so there's the debut of the first ever drifting book for kids called DZ the Dragon, illustrated by Jennifer J. Ryan. It's all about the kids. Get your family copy of DZ Dragon today. Pre-order at dzdragon.com. Formula Drift AZC. Hashtag kids book. Check out DZ Dragon, first ever drifting book for kids. dzdragon.com. All right, so right there we are seeing Chelsea DeNofa pull up in a borrowed car. Now Chelsea called the competition timeout, and Chelsea, you know, we're used to seeing him drive in this BMW. He popped the engine, so here he is in a rental vehicle. This is Tommy Van Cleef's vehicle, and he's debuting this vehicle was to be in Orlando in Pro 2, but here he is on the debut of this Supra. This is the first ever Supra of this body style to compete in Formula Drift, but here comes Chelsea DeNofa down the hill as DeNofa brings it on into and up the hill and into the rear clipping zone. And transitioning back down on the GT Radial BC Racing. At this point, Toyota Supra, obviously. Wow, so DeNofa putting something together. Minus the headlights, one brake light's working.
Yeah, you can know that's DeNofa just by the throttle action right there. That is definitely DeNofa driving right there. If he makes it into the top 32, it'll be a big accomplishment for him, especially considering all the challenges and tribulations that he's had trying to get on track today. You can see right here has a little bit of a hard time on initiation, but then really getting on the throttle, moving up the hill here. Nice job getting himself into position right here on this first outer zone. Gets pretty decently locked into that area right there. Just a little bit long on that second inside clip, but not that bad right there. Now coming down the hill, trying to lock in on a line to get himself into this last inside clip, and does a pretty good job right there. So the cutoff is right around 69.
Dude, as 69 is the cutoff around that, and we'll see, because right now Christoph Blues, he is currently 32nd. So the boy from Latvia in that HGK Motul Achilles tire BMW is he's hoping that, to be honest, Chelsea doesn't make it in. Ryan, do you think that's enough?
Well, let's find out. That's
so DeNofa, a 0 for DeNofa.
No, I don't think that's right.
That's not correct?
That's not right. That's not correct.
I looked over at you. I was like, what's going on there?
You should know better. Here we go.
That's not official.
There you
go. 71 puts him into 28. There you go. I looked right at you guys. I'm like, really? Tell me why a 0. I'm just the messenger, kids. Don't. And the guy and the judges gave a verdict. That went on somebody else. Finger pointing went awry. Here we go. Dan Savage back in the mix as Chelsea DeNofa knocks out Christoph Blues. Unfortunately, here we go. Jeff Jones. Look at that as Dan Savage and that Sicky V8 Mazda RX-8 coming up the hill. Look at that. Daigo Saito currently sitting 30th. Oh, as Dan Savage spins. Look at the running here, Ryan. Daigo Saito is 30th, Briggs 31st, and now Matt Field is sitting in 32nd.
Yeah, as we take a look at the scroll here going across, you can see now the bar is bumped up to 70 points now. But there's about 4 or 5 drivers that are tied at 71. Now that's going to jostle around once we take a look at the tiebreaker, which is the style score. So we're going to see a lot of changes in the top 32 once we actually get the official results. Once we get done here, everything will be unofficial until we get to the drivers meeting later on tonight, and we will also post the scores, but it'll be unofficial until that point. There's definitely going to be a lot of ties that are going to have to be sorted through with the style score, and some guys are going to get knocked out. But right now the bar is at 70. 70 is the marker for whether or not you make it into the top 32. And I believe that Matt Field is sitting on that bubble right now.
Fortunately for Matt Field, he came into this round of competition sitting in 4th, so he does have his second run still. But right now, the driver on the line, I believe it's Justin Pollock. Justin Pollock here, and he was leading the pack there for a while. He says, get your Sharpie ready, as he's ready to be our #1 qualifier. Does he have it in the Roush Performance? Basket Tire Mustang initiates hard into that first front clip. Standing on the throttle, bringing it on into that rear clipping zone. Woo! Justin Pollock places it on the razor's edge. Coming together for JTP. The Roush Performance Ford Mustang is on fire. Wow. Ryan, I have to ask, did we see the perfect run?
Not the perfect run. Not the perfect run.
Just put it out there.
One little mistake, but I have to imagine that will better his first score. Look at the initiation.
Wow.
Look at the aggression. And if you're listening to that, he was on throttle right through the first inside clip. Now perfect coming up the hill, nice and counterlocked. Look how deep he goes right here.
Boom.
Just one little slight adjustment, and then stomps up right on that second inside clip. Now coming down the hill here, he stays on a nice consistent line. Great angle right here. Tons of smoke. Now watch, he just misses that last hit just by a tiny bit. That's the
only opportunity.
That's the only thing he could have done better, but that is a phenomenal run by JTP. He is highly motivated. Expect this score to be pretty astronomical.
I'm going to say it. If he's not #1 qualifier, I'm looking at you, Eggert.
Well, he
looking
already,
at you, Andy,
he already is #1 right now. No, Conrad's #1.
No, he's not #1.
Right.
So I mean, the battle of the ages, the bow tie versus, the blue oval, the Ford. #1 qualifier, Justin Pollock with a 92. JTP with a 92. Look at that. So look at where are the points missing there on line. Man, so 2 points on line, still open, and 5 on angle, or 4 on angle, excuse me. So 2, 4, and then 1 point in style, or 2 points in, no. So 2 points available in style that he left on the scoreboard.
Yeah, just a little bit bigger ding on angle than on line, but a near perfect run for Justin Pollock. He's got to be proud.
If he was a #1 qualifier, guys, I was gonna slap you. Straight up. Straight up. Yeah, dude. I mean, he Twittered me and says, "Get your Sharpie ready." Here we go. Now, Chris Forsberg, he knows his track probably better than anybody. Here we go. The Force, NOS Energy, Hankook Tires, Nissan 370Z. A little bit of scrubbing, not as aggressive as JTP. I mean, that's a hard act to follow. As Forsberg comes out of the keyhole, through the horseshoe, bringing it up the hill. A great solid run there by Forsberg, but man, you know that's just like, hey, all right, here's the Beatles, and then boom, here you gotta back that up.
Chris Forsberg sitting in 11th right now. Nice job right there on that first inside clip. Very consistent for Chris coming up the hill here. Nice counter lock right here, as you can see. He doesn't go as wide as JTP, but he's right in that nice fluid zone on outer zone number 1. Perfect on that second inside clip. Good transition back around here, locking in on this middle line as he transitions to the last inside clip and takes it all the way home. A really good run by Chris. Expect this to get him into the top 10, and we'll see where he slots in right here after a phenomenal run by JTP and a good backup by Chris Forsberg.
Ryan, I got to touch on it. A big surprise here is as we kind of skimmed over it, Dai Yoshihara did not have either of his runs. He came into this round of competition sitting 11th, but Dai, unfortunately, will not be in head-to-head competition tomorrow. And, you know, he's campaigning his own team, the Turn 14 Distribution, Falcon Tires, you know, ARC Design, Subaru BRZ, and unfortunately, Dai Yoshihara, one of those longtime veterans, is not making head-to-head competition. Chris Forsberg gets into 4th with a score of 89. The Force, Chris Forsberg forces, a lot of fours there. Chris Forsberg gets 4th as he is the Force with an 89. All right, so sitting 8th right now, Pat Mordaunt. Now he's sitting on a 0. He has a 0, Pat Mordaunt. And what was the bubble there, Ryan, as we talked about it? Here we go.
Still at 70.
All right, still at 70. Can Pat Mordaunt get that or better? And who is he going to knock off if he puts a score on the board? Who's sitting in 32nd? That Pat Mordaunt is going to take out here potentially in this Falcon Tires Drift Paddock 350Z. Nice shot by Pat. Out of the horseshoe. And bringing it on home. So what would happen here is Matt Field is currently sitting 32nd, Dave Briggs in 31st. So if Pat Mordaunt gets into 32nd, he knocked Matt Field out, but Matt has another run.
If Pat Mordaunt, if he gets above a 70, he'll knock out Matt Field. Matt Field has another run. Looks like Pat Mordaunt will definitely get a score here. Where will it be after we get through the succession of turns right here? As you can see, Pat Mordaunt does a pretty good job right there, going as deep as he possibly can. Misses that second inside clip right there. Now coming down the hill here, trying to find a location to lock in on this last inside clip. Good snappy transition right there, and he's able to hit that last inside clip. So I definitely think he'll get above a 70. Where is it going to put him in? And then Matt Field's going to have to come back with a strong run in run number 2.
Okay. As Pat Mordaunt is currently sitting 8th in points. Slides into 22nd with a 76. That means Matt Field is knocked out. Dave Briggs jumps down to 32nd, but Matt Field still has another run. So right now, and get this, Daigo Saito is currently sitting in 31st. So, I mean, taking a look, I believe that, no, Robbie Nishida, he's up next, and he's sitting on a 0. So he'd be, I think, the only driver that could knock out Dave Briggs at this point in time. Or no, excuse me, Matt Field would knock him out. Here we go. Regardless, we'll see. It's unofficial. Oh, and Robin Nishida. We're hearing from his team, obviously, that he does not have power steering. And Robbie Nishida will be getting a 0.
So unofficially right now, Dave Briggs sitting in at 32. Matt Field, if he gets a score above 70, would knock him out. But nobody else has a 0 here. So really, the battle or the run of contention is going to be Matt Field. If he gets a score, Briggs is out. It looks like Daigo is going to be safe right in at least 31 right now, possibly 32, depending on what happens to Matt Field. But all these scores are unofficial at this point. As we make our way through, we still have about 6 more runs left.
Yeah, so, yep, definitely. All right, so here we have Tyler "The Rock" McCory currently sitting 6th in points. The Mobil 1 GoPro Chevrolet Camaro. Tyler McCory racing. Taking a look, you can see Odie Bakshi sitting in 13th. You
can see Matt Field, right?
14th.
You can see Matt Field in the background. You can definitely know that he's coming to the line, which is the most important thing.
All right, here comes The Rock. Tyler McCory down the hill. Lighten up those Falcon tires, transition into the first front clip. How is The Rock going to do? Really off throttle there. And I mean, by comparison, you know, it's off the throttle, then on it. I mean, an exciting driver, but man. Such a loud and proud car. That is #America right there, man. But it's a gift and a curse. It's just like the wheels. It stands out when he's off throttle.
Well, here we go. Tyler McCory currently in 24th position, and that was that initiation you talked about, Jared. A lot of throttle coming down the hill, then off, and then back on the throttle again. The judges will definitely ding that. McCory trying to reach out wide right here. He gets just in the middle of it, as wide as he possibly can. Good job right there on that second inside clip. Now coming down the hill here, a lot of smoke on course right now as he navigates through his own smoke cloud. Good job on throttle control right there, and just a tiny bit off that last inside clip. So sitting in 24th is Tyler McCory, looking to better his first run.
Okay, does he better it? I don't know. What do you think?
24 is going to be right in that 71 to 73 range. So,
and Tyler McCory does better with an 80. Wow. So, I mean, yeah, that's a strong score. Tyler McCory into 15th position with a score of 80.
Well, just right in the middle of the pack there for Tyler McCory.
Vaughn Gittin Jr., the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR. the professional fun haver. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. giving away a Ford Mustang courtesy of Come Out. Coming into that first front flip. Middle of the road. Good angle. Can he get atop the heat? Can he better his fellow Ford Mustang in the grid? Out of the horseshoe. Down the hill. Back to Grandma's house we go. And there is Vaughn Gittin Jr. A good solid run.
So Gittin sitting on an 85. Good snappy transition right there. Just barely using the e-brake. Gets himself into position on that first inside clip. Good movement up the hill here. Nice and locked in. Good counter lock right there. Very consistent. Goes pretty wide right here into that first outer zone. So far so good. Just a little wide right there on that second inside clip. Now coming down the hill here. He's on a mid-high line. Good locking in right here on this last inside clip. Just slightly off, maybe about a foot. 6 inches or so. So this is going to be a good run. Will he better his 85 and move up the ladder here? Or will the 85 hold? Vaughn Gittin Jr. second run here in qualifying. There it does.
An 88. An 88 gets Vaughn Gittin Jr. into fifth. An 88 gets Vaughn Gittin Jr. into fifth. Taking a look at tomorrow's schedule, just an FYI, main competition, round of 32, begins at 4 o'clock. Gates open at 10 a.m. There's so much going on as far as, global time attack, Trans Am, all that. But round of 32 begins at 4 o'clock, halftime break 6 to 7:30. And VIP experience. National Anthem begins at 7:30. Here we go. Matt Field, Ryan. He is currently not in the top 32. He needs a run to get into tomorrow's head-to-head competition in his CX Racing Black Tracks Performance. Yokohama Tire S14. Sounds a lot better than his first run. Brings it on home. Wow, Ryan, is that enough in your eyes?
Well, it's definitely a run.
Well, let's say in the judges' eyes.
It's definitely a run of consequence for Matt Field. He needed to score. If he gets a score here, he unofficially knocks out David Briggs. Now, nothing we see here shows that he didn't get a score. It's just a matter of how much of a score that he's going to get. He does a nice job right there as he transitions up. Gets on the brakes for a little bit here. Tries to squeak in a little bit more proximity to that outer zone. Does a great job on that inside clip. Now, good transition down the hill here. Watch this counter lock. Great job right there on a middle line by Matt Field. And then a good positioning back up the hill. So he will get the score. He will unofficially knock out David Briggs, but where will it put him into the top 32?
Yeah, that's does he have a high enough score to take out Dave Briggs if he gets a score?
He just needs a score because he had a 0 on his first run.
Yeah, but it has to be higher than Dave Briggs.
Sorry, he had a 70 on his first run. So yeah, if he gets above that, he knocks out David Briggs.
There you go. All right. So here we go. Dave Briggs patiently waiting, or anxiously waiting, I should say. And Field does get a 78. That knocks Dave Briggs out, and Matt Field slides into 19th. Again, this is all unofficial. We'll officially announce it in the drivers' meeting as we are getting to the top of the pack. Matt Field came in 4th, so now here is our top 3. Ryan Turk, Odemus Bakshis, and Frederick Osbo. Here comes Ryan Turk, star of his own show on Network A called Turked. Here we go, the Retax Lifestyle Backpacks. Tuned by Nameless Performance, coming into that first front clip. Up the hill and into the rear clipping zone, getting into it. And out of the horseshoe. Woo, good cloud of smoke. Cloud of smoke, not a judge criteria, but it just shows good evidence of consistent throttle and good wheel spin.
So Ryan Turk sitting in 19th spot right here, trying to move up the ladder a little bit, get himself into better position, goes a little bit wide on that first inside clip. Good lock up the hill right here. Nice job on throttle control. Swings out wide, is able to fill that outer zone, comes off just a little bit early, is able to hit that second inside clip. Good transition and positioning down here, really on the throttle right here as he comes around this last inside clip, is able to knock that one out of the park. So good run right there by Ryan Turk. Will he move up from 19th position? I think so.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that was a good showing there from Turk, and we talked about it, man. You know what? There it is, Ryan Turk on the 85, puts him up to 10th position. So Ryan Turk jumps up to 10th with a score of 85. 2 more runs to go, 2 more drivers. Will Justin Pollock get knocked off the top of the heap? King of the hill is JTP, Justin Pollock. Closer to being $500 richer, but these two gentlemen want to get into his way. Odie Bakshis, and you can see Frederick Osbo warming up his hand-cooked tires in the background. Here we go. Nitto tire shrouded V8 field suspension. Arc Performance S14 of Odie Bakshis. Woo, look at that. Odie coming in, standing on the throttle, dancing with the edge of the course, getting into those rumble strips. Wow, nice, hanging the bumper over the dirt. A little correction there as Odie, a man possessed, coming towards that final clip. Woo! Does he knock off JTP Ryan? I mean, we saw JTP's run, and the only point, as you said, went around that last clip, was off of it. So how does Odie fare?
Well, it's a great initiation right here. He way overshoots that first inside clip right here. But that gives you an idea of just how great of a driver Odie is when he makes a mistake of that magnitude, he saves it and he's able to make the run look absolutely tremendous. But that will definitely be a big mistake. We saw that pretty clearly overshooting that first inside clip. But a nice smooth transition back around to this last inside clip. He's sitting in 14th place right now. That's going to put him right around in the 80, 82 realm. If he gets above that, he should maybe find himself into the top 10. We'll see if that one mistake was too much or if it'll move him up into the top 10.
An 89 gets him into 4th. An 89 gets Odie into 4th. Also on that slow motion, you saw him yank the e-brake, massaging it into that rear clipping zone. So a good performance nonetheless as Odie Bakshis. Now here we go. A lot of ladies love him, so do some dudes. Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer. He's coming down the pipe, currently first in points. Here he comes. Frederick Osbo, currently the leader in his Rockstar Energy Drink hand-cooked tires, Scion Racing, Scion TC. All right, so Freddie coming up the hill, ripping the 4-cylinder turbo. Works it. You see some corrections there from those front wheels. Bogging down out of the horseshoe, bringing it on home is Frederick Osbo. Make some noise, Atlanta, for all our drivers. Ryan, break it down, if you will.
Well, Frederick Osbo talked a lot about in the offseason how he wanted to be a better qualifier, starting off in that number one position after run number 1. He did just that, trying to make it up better here, see if he can knock out the top guys. He does a nice job right here filling that first outer zone. Tons of smoke on course. Just goes a tiny bit wide right there on that second inside clip. That was really the only mistake of this run. He's on a low line right here. Transitions back around. Snappy job right there and hits that last inside clip. So a good choice right there by Frederick Osbo on that line, setting himself up for the last inside clip. Will it get him enough that he needs? We'll find out.
Obviously,
right
I don't
now.
think that's enough to be number 1 qualifier. That would mean JTP would get it, but he does slide into 2nd with a 92. Man, that's a pretty hefty score there, Ryan. I don't know if that completely warrants that. I mean, that's pretty high.
No major mistakes on that. He pretty much did everything he needed to do. But it looks like that I think JTP had a 92 as well, and it looks like he's gonna be bumped down because of style score. So yeah, very, very close battle right there between JTP and Frederick Osbo.
So a good showing here by all the drivers, Jared Deanna and Ryan Sage. It was a Let's take a look at tomorrow's schedule as the gates open early, but practice begins at 2:30, live stream at 2:45. That's when we go on. Round of 32, that's when we actually start talking. Just before that, round of 32 at 4 o'clock, 7:30 of the opening ceremonies, national anthem, and the main competition, meaning the top 16, begins. Visit formuladee.com for more information. And you know, Ryan, it's it's been a beautiful day out here in Atlanta, Road Atlanta, and thank you for joining us, the fans, both in person and online. Ryan, anything else to add?
No, a great day of competition. Really looking forward to tomorrow. We had some close calls by guys, and as we take a look at these qualifying scores, we'll be able to have all the official up in just a few moments on our website, and we'll be ret and steady for competition tomorrow as we make our way to year number 12 of Road Atlanta.
You said it. You took the words out of my mouth. Not only is this the second round of the Formula Drift Championship in 2015 presented by GoPro, but this is the 12th year we've come back to this awesome location that is Road Atlanta. The best drift fans of Formula Drift in my eyes, but I challenge you, if you haven't been here, come here and check it out. The culture, the vibe, the red dirt, the custom track, it's just amazing. But thank you. Please join us again tomorrow. You saw the schedule. We'll see you online, and we'll see you another time, and we'll see you tomorrow for the continuation of the round of 2 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro. For Ryan Sage, I'm Jared Dienda, and our very own Lorette Nickel will join us tomorrow, and she's in the pits as we take a look at some of these awesome runs. Be sure to pick up your limited edition print. Go to @Formula D or StanceWorks. Act now, limited edition print. Also the Takata Formula Drift wallet, $59 for the men's, $99 for the zipper wallet. Again, it's been an awesome day here and night, and we'll see you tomorrow, and send it for the second round of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro.